Chapter 1. SHIELD. Good old Phil Coulson knocked on Nick Fury's office door. "Boss, this is a video from the agent monitoring Frank Custer." Nick reached out and took it, opening it. When I saw it for the first time, my expression suddenly changed. Quickly looked at Phil Coulson. "Has anyone else seen this video?" See the look on Nick's face. As a confidant, Phil Coulson knew at a glance that something was wrong with the video content. He quickly shook his head. "No one has seen it, and neither have I. I sent it over as soon as I got it." Nick Fury's expression softened slightly. "Set the importance level of Frank Custer's information to level 7. "Yes." Phil Coulson was shocked. "Level 7, this is already a very high level. Barring some big shots. Otherwise, it would involve extraordinary beings. And Frank Custer is clearly not a big shot." Nick Fury fell silent watching the video. After a moment, he glanced up at Phil Coulson. One eye flashed. "Come here and watch with me." Phil Coulson was stunned. "It's not that he is designated as level 7. He is a level 6 agent. I'm not qualified to see it." Blinking, Phil Coulson subconsciously looked at Nick Fury. "Meet that deep one eye." 3 eyes facing each other. "Got it, it looks like he needs to investigate this matter again. He had just returned from a mission to find Tony Stark. Almost 3 months in the desert. Forget it about doing such tiring work. No money yet. I have never seen such a stingy boss." Phil Coulson leaned over. "Look at the video." Suddenly his pupil shrank. "Just see it on the screen. A big man 2 meters tall. Holding an airborne Gatling. A real machine gun mounted on a helicopter. The bullets are as thick as a finger. It was tied round and round on the body. Such a machine gun. It was just held in the hand of this big man. It was stunned that he used it as a submachine gun. To know. That thing must weigh at least 100 or 200 kilograms including bullets. Charge. But it's more than that. Just under a weight of 100 or 200 pounds. The big man was still dodging bullets at super fast speeds. Sometimes there is even an afterimage on the screen. This is Frank." Phil Coulson was shocked. He also thought Frank was involved with super beings. Who would have thought that he would actually be an extraordinary person? Is this speed possible for humans? Maybe even the original captain of the United States was nothing more than this. Is this the super soldier serum? Phil Coulson subconsciously looked at Nick Fury. Nick Fury also looked at him at this time. "It's up to you to investigate this matter. It's best to find the reason why Frank became stronger, and bring it back to me if you can." Frank Custer. Considered by Nick Fury. In his mind, he is a rare level 10 agent. Moreover, it is a level 10 agent that combines command operations and individual combat. Whether it is personal force or battlefield command. Frank is top-notch. Under the extreme physical fitness of ordinary people. Frank can do that. And now, after becoming a transcendent, it is conceivable that even the identity of the king of agents. When it comes to Frank, it may be a little lacking. After Phil Coulson leaves the commissioner's office, I immediately called up Frank's recent action route. "Hey? A week ago, a family was attacked while shopping." Phil Coulson was shocked. How dare someone dare to brazenly carry out a terrorist attack in a downtown area? He is not in charge of this part. He still just found out about this. And the identities of the people attacked turned out to be Frank's family. Then he saw something was wrong in the video. At this time, Frank actually has powers far beyond ordinary people. Only inside the store. The moment Frank became aware of the attack, he threw hundreds of kilograms of shelves and counters in front of his family. Blocked the first wave of bullets. He punched several times with his fists and smashed the back door of the store. Then, he easily picked up his wife and children. While holding 3 people. At an incredible speed, he escaped from the store through the back door. Wait until his attacker reacts. The family of 4 had already escaped without a trace. Phil Coulson has no doubts. If not for being surrounded by family, Frank can completely destroy all enemies with one person. Follow Frank's escape route. Phil Coulson searches for suspicious areas bit by bit. This is Frank's home. This is the warehouse where Frank trains privately. This is 5th Avenue in Manhattan, New York. This store on 5th Avenue, a decomposition store. Phil Coulson finally muttered the name of the store. This store looks no different from an ordinary store. But Frank actually went there 4 or 5 times in just 1 week. And after this attack, Frank went to this store immediately. Wait until he comes out again. His wife and children did not accompany him. Apparently he left it in the shop. Think of this. Phil Coulson immediately stared. Frank can be trusted so much. This shop will definitely know the inside story of how Frank became a super. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 2. Manhattan, New York. 5th Avenue, inside a store. A handsome young man was basking in the sun leisurely. Frank, that's not interesting. My great savior didn't even say anything about helping me publicize it. Look at this day and night, there's not even a single person coming to analyze it. How can I improve my strength if no one is here to break it down? The young man's name is Ron. He is a time traveler. The reason for traveling is unimportant. Just wait until he understands the world he lives in. I feel extremely depressed inside. Troubled marvel. Ordinary people are no different from ants here. The superhuman is the human being. Ants don't know when they will be trampled to death by humans. Or be annihilated by a purple sweet potato spirit with a snap of your fingers. Swallowed soul by a demon. Even, I saw a beautiful beauty while walking on the road. Under the teasing of the beautiful woman, you followed behind. Walk all the way to the depths of the alley. Just when he was about to show a silvery smile and prepare to play with the beauty. Suddenly, the beauty revealed a pair of bloodthirsty fangs. A bite on the main artery in your neck. Turn you into a mummy in an instant. It can be said that the Marvel world is a hell for ordinary people. Fortunately, the god of time travel did not treat Ron badly. Let him bring a shop with him after traveling through time. For Ron, the day you don't become stronger, the day you don't feel safe. Although in the store, no one can hurt him. There is no need to worry about life safety. But what's the difference between this and going to jail? There is no freedom at all if you want to get out. This is a huge marvel. A colorful world. There is much more to see. Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, Wanda, Gwen, Sky. Goddess of Death Hela is not impossible. Just a bit older. I don't know if there is a common language. By the way, the Aesir have a long lifespan. When Hela appeared, she looked like a girl in her 20s. There shouldn't be a generation gap, right? Ron's eyelids moved slightly while he was basking in the sun on the recliner. I feel that this is a question worth studying. If you have the chance, try it out. I heard that Helheim serves as the underworld. It is dark all year round and the wind is biting. Hela must be lonely. She should be in need of someone to comfort her lonely heart. Maybe he'll become Thor's brother-in-law. It's time to take apart Thor's hammer and play with it. Thor should be fine with that. I don't know if Thor has any objections. After all, he didn't even know that he had a sister. But Odin definitely has no problem with that. Someone really needs to surrender Hela. Take your pick from Odin's treasure trove. Take one and throw another, Odin will not be angry. Mjolnir? Come, I'll give it to you. Ron's equipment disassembly shop. There are 5 decomposing machines. By disassembling equipment through the disassembly machine, you can obtain rewards for strengthening yourself. The higher the level of the equipment, the better the rewards it decomposes. The disassembler has a unique definition of equipment. In addition to the high level of the original materials of the equipment, the quality of the equipment is good. Such as weapons, firearms, cold weapons, etc. It must have been used by someone before. The longer it is used, the greater the user's ability. Then the level of the equipment will be higher. This is true even for ordinary clothes worn by people. Definitely, the equipment is different. The rewards broken down are also different. And Ron is the owner of the decomposer. Others use the disintegrator, regardless of the reward. Ron will get 10 times that. This is also his benefit as the owner of a decomposition machine. So far, only Frank broke down a few good pieces of equipment. A set of training clothes that Frank once wore. A dagger. A pistol that Frank has used for a long time. All 3 items reached the 3rd level of decomposer rating, green level. It is these 3 items, giving Frank the power of a transcendent. It also gave Ron a certain amount of power. Hello, are you the store owner? There was a knock on the door, accompanied by a gentle voice. A man with a crown of hair walked in, with a friendly smile on his face. None other than Phil Coulson. Ron opened his eyes. Look at this familiar hairline. Blinked. I am. Hearing this, the smile on Phil Coulson's face became even brighter. My name is Phil Coulson. I came to find out something from you. As soon as he finished speaking, he suddenly heard an unexpected answer. I know you. Ron's voice was flat. Phil Coulson, agent. Phil Coulson's eyes twinkled. The smile on his face disappeared immediately. His eyes were fixed on Ron. Want to see something on his face? However, Ron's expression remained the same. Is the information in the bureau so insecure now? Think of me, Phil Coulson, big file size, small but also a level 6 agent. Are you going to become an elite level 7 agent soon? Can everyone know the information so casually? Ron looked at him. Only Frank has ever been to my place. I guess it was him who attracted you here. Speaking of this, Ron suddenly admired in his heart. Frank is good. He is a person who does great things. Don't look at the lack of publicity. But the actual action is still very fast. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 3. Early Days of Marvel. Which organization has more S.H.I.E.L.D equipment? If he could drain S.H.I.E.L.D dry, he would become the leader of the Earth. Phil Coulson was silent for a moment. His eyes narrowed as he looked at Ron. Such secrets are revealed without fear. Is this person not an ordinary person? No matter what, in Phil Coulson's heart. I already think that Ron is at least an extraordinary person. Think of this. He felt uncomfortable in his heart. FK, this is an extraordinary person. He was actually asked to investigate by himself. This is because he is afraid that he will die slowly. In case the other person is in a bad mood. There's no way he's staying here. Alas, life is hard. Phil Coulson smiled bitterly in his heart. Sir, it seems that you do know how Frank has extraordinary powers. Since you know my identity, you naturally understand that I have no ill intentions in coming here. The emergence of extraordinary beings will lead to unsafe factors. We have to address this. So, I wonder if I can get help from you. Ron nodded. Phil Coulson was delighted when he saw this. Thank you, sir. No help. Phil Coulson. I won't give you a nod. Ron ignored the change in his expression. It's easy to find out what's going on with Frank. Ron pointed at the decomposer. Those 5 machines are called decomposition machines. The rules are written on the side. Use it once and you will get the answer you want to know. What else does Phil Coulson want to ask? The name of this store suddenly came to mind. Equipment Disassembly Shop. As Nick Fury's confidant, he knows many secrets of the extraordinary world. There are also many extraordinary people who have inexplicable rules. Is it possible that this store's rule is to use a decomposing machine? Okay. Phil Coulson had a smile on his face. He wasn't in a hurry either. Since this store has unique rules. In the event of force majeure, it does not matter if you abide by the following. Besides, familiarity with the environment is also one of the necessary tasks of the agent. He responded to Ron and walked over to check. Decomposed item levels, white, blue, green, purple, pink, gold. Requirements for use of Decomposer Novice Disassembler, 100 meters of gold note, white items can be decomposed, and items that are white or above may be damaged. Elementary level decomposition machine, 1000 meters of gold note, items below blue can be decomposed, and above are the same as above. Medium level decomposition machine, 10,000 meters of gold note, items below green can be decomposed, same as above. High level decomposition machine, 100,000 meters of gold note, items below purple can be decomposed, same as above. Top decomposition machine, 1,000,000 meters of gold note, all items can be decomposed. Tip: the higher the level of the decomposition machine and the higher the level of the item, the less energy is wasted in decomposition, and the more rewards you will get in the end. If you don't follow the rules, you will be responsible for all losses. There is no after-sales service in this store, just use it if you like. The final right of interpretation belongs to the owner Ron. Fake. 1 million meters of gold used once? I think of him as an elite agent. Only 10 years of salary can be used once? This is a black shop. Or is this a way for the shop owner to distinguish the strength of the visitors? This is understandable. But, decompose equipment? What's the meaning? Similar to a stone crusher. Put the weapon in and crush it. I have to pay to crush my own weapons? Is this true? What kind of scapegoat could do such a thing? But when I think about my mission... Phil Coulson gritted his teeth. This is just one step away from knowing Frank's information. You can't give up halfway. Now when I go back, I know that the owner of this shop is extraordinary. Know almost nothing else. It's almost the same as not coming to check. I don't even know how to write an investigation report. Have to. He is the one who was taken advantage of. However, Phil Coulson's passing of the rule is not without gain. At least I know that the owner of this shop is called Ron. Ron, never heard of it. It's not important. We'll talk about it later when we go back and look up the information. The most important thing at the moment is the decomposer. But how to use this decomposer? Mr. Ron, how to use this decomposer? Phil Coulson asked his doubts. Ron pointed to the top and middle of the grater. Up there, put the money. In the middle, place the equipment you want to disassemble. Once you choose to decompose, you can't go back on it. Definitely, there is no way to regret it. It's all broken down, what else can be done? Thoughts on Phil Coulson? Ron doesn't know. It doesn't matter if you know. Just wait until Phil Coulson learns about the wonders of the decomposer. S.H.I.E.L.D will take the bait sooner or later. After all, it improves strength without side effects. Who doesn't want that? Phil Coulson nodded. Came to the 5 decomposing machines. I touched all over my body. Equipment, mobile phones should not be counted. Then there is only the pistol. Damn it, why didn't you bring an extra dagger or something like that? Phil Coulson pulled out his pistol. Subconsciously glanced at Ron. Noticed that Ron didn't pay any attention to his action of taking out the pistol. It suddenly became clear to me. Sure enough, he is also an extraordinary person. The pistol shouldn't pose any threat to Ron. The suspicion in my mind was confirmed. Phil Coulson also stopped doing unnecessary things. Afraid of causing Ron's misunderstanding. After all, he is an extraordinary person. He is an ordinary person, so it is better to be honest. Hold the pistol and come to the decomposer honestly. Look at the 1 million mark on the top decomposer. Fell into silence for a while. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 4. This doesn't fit. High level 100,000, this won't work either. Medium level 10,000, hiss. Forget it, I'm still a newbie. It's not that he doesn't like the price, he just prefers new decomposers. This is my first time using it, a novice. As a newbie, you should take it step by step and be down to earth. This is his Phil Coulson rule of life. Then, Boss Ron, how do you tell the level of equipment? Put it in front of the decomposer, and the decomposer will tell you. Phil Coulson, tell me the breakdown? Good guy, is this thing still high-tech? Isn't it just a broken machine that crushes equipment? But he still put the pistol in front of the decomposer. Suddenly, the entrance to the elementary level decomposer lit up with a white light. Shine onto the pistol. Phil Coulson's pupils suddenly shrank. Because a light curtain appeared in front of him. There was information about the pistol clearly written on it. Phil Coulson Agent's gun level, blue note, although it has only been used for a short time, its professional agent quality and firm agent will make it far superior to similar agents. It is recommended to use the elementary level decomposition machine. Do you want to decompose it? There are 2 more options below. 1 yes and 1 no. This decomposition machine is actually an extraordinary item. In this way, decomposing equipment is not simply crushing it. Could it be that the weapons are broken down into crafting materials? Phil Coulson took a deep breath. There were so many things about this store that he didn't expect. No matter what, now that extraordinary items have been discovered, it's worth him giving it a try. The only requirement to use extraordinary items is money. Then try even more. He was about to put the pistol into the new disintegrator. A sudden meal. Wrong. I just said the pistol level is blue. In other words, an elementary level decomposition machine is required. Fake. Phil Coulson took out 1000 meters of gold heartbroken. Placed above the elementary level decomposer. A light came on. The 1000 meters of gold that had just been placed disappeared immediately. Phil Coulson was surprised in his heart, but his face remained unchanged. Place the pistol at the entrance below. The entrance is retracted and closed. Immediately afterwards, the decomposer started running. There were bursts of gear grinding sounds. Although I was already prepared to destroy the pistol. But listen to this voice. I still feel unsure. Is this really a physical decomposition? This crunching sound. It sounded like it was put into a gravel machine. Does this really break down the rewards? Reward me with a pile of scrap metal? Just when Phil Coulson was thinking about how to explain to Nick Fury when he went back. I heard a chi sound from the decomposer. It sounds like steam leaking. Immediately afterwards. The light curtain was lighting up before his eyes. Decomposition successful. Elementary level pistol shooting skills *5. Elementary level pistol near fighting ability skill *3. Defective will *1. Broken crystal fragment *1. Decomposition is complete, do you want to extract it immediately? Phil Coulson's pupil shrank. This is real? Extraction can verify the authenticity. Thinking of this, Phil Coulson clicked extract directly. Suddenly there were 10 more light groups in his hand. Where did it come from? Did he blink? He didn't even see clearly how these light groups appeared. At this time, a prompt appeared on the light screen again. Clap the reward with both hands to use it. Is this the end? Phil Coulson looked at the ball of light in his hand. He stretched out his hand and clicked. Suddenly a ball of light turned into dots of light and merged into his body. Various methods and techniques for using pistols suddenly appeared in my mind. For a moment Phil Coulson had a feeling. Now he has become a young man who is very skilled in handjobs. Give him a gun. His shooting accuracy is at least 10% higher than before. There is even an illusion that the bullet can turn. It's actually true. What he had just absorbed was elementary level pistol shooting skills. Although his shooting skills are not bad. But just the elementary level gave him some insights. It's unimaginable. What if it is medium level or high level? Bullets can't do as much damage as cannonballs, right? No more hesitation. 5 books on shooting skills and 3 books on near-fighting ability skills. All taken. Phil Coulson felt that if he had been a pistol master before, then he is definitely considered a sharpshooter now. An impulse welled up in his heart. Compare shooting with Hawkeye. Subconsciously I wanted to pull out my gun and make a few gestures. Grass. Where is my gun? Oh, it breaks down. That's okay. 2 more shots. The last 2 light groups merge into the body. He suddenly felt a sore, swollen, and itchy feeling all over his body. Just when he thought he had been tricked. The feeling goes as quickly as it comes. Suddenly they all disappeared. At this moment, he felt that his body was full of strength. The strength has improved a lot. As for how much more, you need to go back and experiment. He didn't know why. But he knew that this thing could really improve his strength. But the most important thing now is to go back. Go back and check your body to see if there are any side effects. If there is not, then even he, a good old man, was attracted by the decomposer. Watching Phil Coulson leave. Tisk tisk, you are indeed an important character. Even a random gun can reach blue. This is still Phil Coulson, if it's Natasha Romanoff, Hawkeye. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 5. You know, Phil Coulson is not in charge of combat effectiveness. It serves more as an emotional bridge. Even so, it was easy to take out the blue items. Natasha Romanoff and Hawkeye have to be green, right? Can't be worse than Frank. Frank's 3 pieces of equipment are all green. The 3 pieces of green equipment are added together and decomposed into rewards. It's about 20 times more powerful than Phil Coulson's blue pistol. For the improvement of Frank's physical fitness. Far more than Phil Coulson. Frank, who had already reached the peak of human strength, became a transcendent in one fell swoop. And he is not a first-time transcendent. With strength, he blasted through the security door with his bare hands. Speed, ability to perceive danger, and easily dodge bullets. This is already the dream of many extraordinary people. And Ron, even more than that, doubled 10 times. All this is brought about by just 3 pieces of green equipment. If it were purple, pink. I don't know if Tony Stark's battlesuit can be decomposed or is it considered a type of equipment. And infinite gems, SSS. Infinite gems are probably considered golden equipment. If only it could be decomposed. Ron couldn't even imagine what he could decompose. After integration, it will probably be no worse than Ancient One, right? Shaked his head. Ron wiped away the non-existent saliva. Take your time and everything will fall into place. Feel the slight improvement to your body that the 10 defective wills you just obtained have. Energy in the body also increases. Ron set a small goal first. Squeeze the S.H.I.E.L.D dry. There are many types of rewards for the decomposer. The most common ones are various techniques, such as dismantling firearms. You will gain the use of firearms and shooting skills. There are also melee combat skills with firearms. Decompose cold weapons such as daggers. Will gain melee combat skills. In general, it can be regarded as soft power such as improving skills. But there are will rewards such as defective will. It's about improving physical strength. Strengthen physical fitness. Let your body exceed the limits of ordinary people. Reach the level of transcendence. Similar to the will are broken crystal fragments. Crystal fragments can increase the energy in the body. Like Thor, Captain Marvel Carol Danvers. Both have a strong body. It also has special energy that enhances its own combat power. A hexagonal warrior with semi-balanced development. And for the realm of the extraordinary. Ron also learned about the division of strength among decomposers. Ordinary people are below the limit of the human body. The surface level, the first level of extraordinary beings, is also threatened by heavy firearms. Planet level, it ignores ordinary thermal weapons and can survive in a vacuum for a short period of time. Galaxy level, it can ignore almost all thermal weapons, and with enough energy, it can fly in the universe. Level Sub-Godfather, thermal weapons are ineffective, any space-based weapons that can destroy the planet are ineffective, and he can destroy the planet alone. Level Godfather, this already belongs to the level of the Lord of Dimensions. Definitely on the same level. There will also be huge amounts of difference in combat power. Calculated based on Ron. He is now at the first-time planet level. If each level is broken down, compare it to the will-type rewards decomposed by the decomposition machine. Approximately 10 defective wills can be absorbed to reach the peak of ordinary people. Above that is the surface level, which is the first level of transcendence. It takes about 100 to reach the peak. As for the planet level, it requires at least 10,000 to reach the peak. Ron is currently in the early stages of planet level. If the specific strength is divided into an experience value, Ron is probably 200/10,000. It can be said that in the early Marvel world, it is not a weak strength. But for some strong people, this strength is no different from ordinary people. The other side. Phil Coulson, who received the medical examination report, rushed into the director's office excitedly. Boss, bang. The door closed. Looking at Phil Coulson, who suddenly broke in, he silently exited and closed the door. Nick Fury was silent. His eyes moved down and looked at the bare biscuits in his hands. It's over, the image of the tall director is gone. Outside the door, Phil Coulson's face was full of confusion. Not knocking is a bad habit and needs to be changed. Although, he already knew that Nick liked to eat bear cookies. But Nick doesn't know that he knows. This is great. I know something that my boss cannot tell anyone. How could it be better? Phil Coulson, come in. Phil Coulson touched his nose. He took a deep breath and pushed open the door. That boss, I didn't see anything. Nick. 3 eyes facing each other. Phil Coulson tries to sound as sincere as possible. However, facing Nick's increasingly darker face, he still looked away. Boss, this is the report of this operation. Nick reached out and took it. Closer look. Phil Coulson is bored waiting. Unable to suppress the excitement in my heart, I looked at the physical examination report again. Amazing, so amazing. Not only does that light group have no side effects, and it also cured the root causes of his old injuries. When performing tasks, you need to stay up late, and all the irreversible damage to your body caused is healed. It couldn't be healthier. Healthier than 10 years younger. Even the astigmatism in the eyes caused by age has recovered. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 6. He subconsciously put his hands over his eyes. The left side is so clear. Right eye, wow. Clearer. This feeling is simply amazing. Phil Coulson, who was enjoying himself, looked up. Suddenly, he realized that Nick was staring at him with one eye. Phil Coulson stiffened. Follow Nick's line of sight. His eyes moved slowly until he saw his hand clasped over his eyes. Boss, I said I was just checking the astigmatism in my eyes. Do you believe it? Do I believe it or not? You tell me whether I believe it or not. Just saw me eating bear cookies. Now that you have a handle on me, you're going to start mocking me, right? If I don't punish you, where is the authority of my director? Nick looked him up and down. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. It suddenly occurred to me that in the report, Phil Coulson said that the gun was used to test the decomposer. Do you have a gun? With a gun? Isn't it written in the report? Yes, he understands. There is a saying that goes well. When your leader wants to pick a fight with you, it's useless to say anything. Phil Coulson now deeply understands the meaning of this sentence. As Nick's confidant, Nick won't do anything to him, but definitely knows his weaknesses. He just hopes to do more tasks, earn some money, and raise baby Laura. Laura was his favorite car. Good now. Nick will never show mercy. Then, it was exactly what he thought. The gun is missing. Major dereliction of duty. Nick Fury sounded serious. You are the old man in the bureau. You have made such a serious mistake. As a punishment, you will forfeit this year's bonus. You must pay for any losses incurred during this mission. Do you have any opinion? Facing Nick Fury's sharp one eye, Phil Coulson shook his head quickly. No comment. After saying that, all that was left in his heart was miserable wailing. Laura, I'm sorry for you. After a while. After reading Phil Coulson's mission report. Is the decomposition machine you mentioned real? Is the decomposer an extraordinary item? The price of use is only rice gold. And it can decompose light groups from weapons that can strengthen the body. Nick Fury's face was solemn. Phil Coulson nodded. Indeed, this is my physical examination report. After reading Phil Coulson's physical examination report, Nick Fury was silent. No side effects, mass-produced extraordinary ones. This is more shocking than the super soldier serum. You know, even the super soldier serum. The funds required to make the materials cost millions. Not to mention since Dr. Erkins was assassinated, the super soldier serum went out of print. Even a genius like Howard Stark. None can be copied. And the decomposition machine. Phil Coulson's report makes it clear. A standard pistol. Spend 1,000 meters gold price, it can decompose 10 light groups. Among them, the 8 strengthening pistol usage skills will not be mentioned for the time being. Those 2 can actually strengthen their physical fitness. Defective will, broken crystal fragments, just these 2 kinds of light groups. It made Phil Coulson's strength increase by nearly 100 kilograms. Simply incredible. The body is even healthier. This is no longer an increase in strength. This is the improvement of the essence of life. Involuntarily, an impulse emerged in my heart to take control of the decomposition machine. You said the owner of that store is a transcendent. Phil Coulson nodded. Although there is no certainty, there is a high probability that it will not be wrong. He knew who I was and he didn't care at all. And when I pulled out my pistol, he just watched silently. Obviously, the pistol was not a threat to him. And, I guess, Frank Custer's extraordinary power was obtained from the decomposition machine. Just a blue-level pistol has nearly doubled my strength. Frank, a former special soldier, is certainly no weaker than me in terms of ability. I guess the rating of the weapon by the decomposer is related to the user and the time of use. I don't think my weapon will be higher level than Frank's. Phil Coulson knows it. Frank, that's a strong fighter on the level of Natasha Romanoff, Barton. He guessed that it was very possible. Frank disassembled a lot of green equipment in the disassembly shop. Nick Fury's one eye shone with a strange light. Weapons and equipment, rated according to the user himself? The stronger the user's overall strength, the higher the level of the weapon. Then as the director, he is also the king of agents, Nick Fury. The equipment you have should be of a high level. Inform Natasha Romanoff and have her bring all her gear to the dismantling shop. Bring those who were eliminated before. If all this is true, then he will be able to mass-produce extraordinary beings. And the price is only 1% of the super soldier serum. Even lower. The world will be restored to peace in the hands of Nick Fury. He no longer had to look at the Federation's face. Have your own power to defend the world. When the time comes, it will be the Federation that begs him. And Nick Fury looked at the files he had just put away. It says Avengers Plan right on it. This will not be a plan. But all extraordinary beings will be completely controlled by him. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 7. The idea is beautiful. The reality is very skinny. As Phil Coulson waits for Natasha Romanoff to return. The other side. Frank, who had just finished his revenge, was approached by Daredevil. Frank, I need your help. Frank frowned slightly. I don't think I'd help you. He has great respect for Daredevil. But as for Daredevil's code of conduct, purely a great holy lady. He even ran out to stop him when he was seeking revenge. That he killed innocent people indiscriminately. Damn it. My wife and children were all attacked. Almost killed. I almost lost my family and my family. UFG come out and tell me to stop. Why don't you tell those people who want to shoot me to stop? Frank is angry. If I hadn't heard about Daredevil's actions. He almost killed Daredevil on the spot. In the end, he has strength that far exceeds that of Daredevil. Knocked Daredevil unconscious and tied him up. Wait until his revenge is over. After we all got home, I remembered that I had forgotten about Daredevil. When he goes back to look for it. Still tied up. Daredevil knew he was no match for Frank. After being untied, there was no more entanglement. Leave decisively. To understand the reason for Frank's revenge. Then there was silence. Although he and Frank have different ideas. But he no longer resists Frank's revenge. Instead, he kept trying to get Frank into his team. Join him in dealing with the Kingpin. As for Frank. Haha, get out. Daredevil frowned slightly. Apology explained. I apologize for preventing you from taking revenge. I really need your help. I hope you can help me defeat the Kingpin. Frank didn't appreciate it at all. I'll help you if you need me. Who are you? As for Kingpin, what does it have to do with me? As a special soldier, he has experienced things that Daredevil can't compare to. I also have a deeper understanding of underground tunnels. Hit the gold and you can. It won't be long before there will be a merger of silver, copper, and iron. To put it bluntly, it's useless. There is white and black in the world. After Jinbin is eliminated, there will be another underground emperor. Moreover, without Kingpin's rule during this period, New York would be even more chaotic. Besides, do you really think that there is no one in the Hayway boss like Kingpin? How could he sit so firmly without anyone? The people above him don't care, he only cares about this. Daredevil doesn't understand, or he doesn't want to understand. I have never experienced any beating from society. He is now a pure black and white person. Simple and persistent. Would you rather see the Union continue to be poisoned by the Kingpin? This damn guy not only sells guns and people, he also sells unique products. As long as you are willing to help me deal with Kingpin, I have also found several companions who are equally powerful. Whatever your requirements are, I will convince them to fulfill them together. He really took a fancy to Frank's ability. Ever since the battle with Kingpin began, he would feel helpless alone. Facing the powerful Jinbin. He has no duplication skills. And that day, he saw Frank's post-battle performance as an art on the battlefield. Just fell in love with Frank. With Frank's help, he will definitely defeat Kingpin. In order to defeat Kingpin, he had made a lot of preparations. I also met like-minded companions. There is a little guy who calls himself Spider-Man. He has great strength, speed, and agility, and his perception ability is not inferior to him. It's simply an enhanced version of him. And a big guy named Luke Cage can explode grenades with bare hands. He is an extraordinary person known for his strength and defense. What you said makes sense, but next time don't. Wait a minute, you said you found several companions with extraordinary powers. Frank suddenly discovered a blind spot. Daredevil nodded quickly. Yes, both of them are stronger than me. If you meet, you'll definitely like them. Haha, I only like my wife and children. Frank retorted without giving any face. However, it's not impossible for me to join you. I want the weapons and clothes you have used. It must be used for a long time. I want as many as I want. Daredevil was stunned. What kind of requirement is this? Is this the first time he has seen such a weird request? Cloth fetish? But none of this matters. Are you sure this is the only request? Frank nodded without hesitation. That's right, this is the only one. If you agree, then I will join. Frank's powers are obtained through the disintegrator. What was decomposed were the weapons and even clothes that he had used. I tasted the sweetness once. He also tried using other people's weapons and clothes to decompose them. However, it is of no use to ordinary people. The most broken down are novice fighting skills. For him, a fighting master. Dispensable. Daredevil suddenly reveals that he has two fellow supernatural beings. This, good guy, is simply awesome. Enhanced experience delivered to your door. He is ready. If Daredevil disagrees, even if he spends money to buy it, he still has to buy it. I agree. There is no need to ask for their opinions, I can make the decision. Daredevil is incredible. Afraid that Frank would regret it. He quickly agreed. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Frank's surname is a transliteration. When the author saw castle, he directly translated it into castle. Castle and castle are the same, there is no difference. Chapter 8. For Daredevil. It's like a dream. Look at Frank next to you. He couldn't help but smile. Frank, I'm sorry. I admit that I misjudged you before. I thought you didn't want to help me at all, but I didn't expect you are such a good person. With just such a simple request, I joined. If this is not a good person, who is? Who says Frank is not a good person? Who is he in a hurry with? I am a good person. I just want to improve my strength. Don't give me a high hat. Frank opened his mouth. Haha, just say so. At night, the two of them galloped together. Arrive at the place where Daredevil and the others gather. I saw a big black man waiting there for a long time at the moment. Hey Daredevil, who is he? Luke Cage asked. Daredevil quickly introduced the two of them. This is the Frank Custer I told you about before. A powerful super ability user. Frank waved his hand. I'm not very powerful yet. It's not that he's self-effacing. He had heard Ron talk about extraordinary beings. His current strength is just that of a first-time transcendent. Much stronger. But Luke Cage doesn't think so. Modesty is not their virtue. Confidence is. My name is Luke Cage. The strength is not bad. It has a strength of over 20 tons and can withstand bullets and cannons without being damaged. Faced with Luke Cage's show-off. It's really good. It's amazing. Frank's eyes suddenly lit up. Hold the grass. Not bad. The first one is so awesome. Wouldn't that mean it would be nice to get a reward after breaking it down? At least no worse than him, right? You've come to the right place. Facing Frank's compliment, Luke Cage smiled proudly. Frank is someone that Daredevil admires. He admired Daredevil. Daredevil admires Frank. Frank admires him. Yeah, a perfect closed loop. Daredevil opened his mouth. I just want to say that Frank's real strength is more than that. At this time, a figure flashed across the air. It landed next to the three of them. Hey guys. Sorry, I met two guys who were robbing me on the way, so I came a little late. What are you talking about? Whoa. Who is this? Your new partner. Our trio won't want to replace me, right? That's not a good idea. Luke Cage. Daredevil. Speaking of ability, he really likes Spider-Man. It's a pity that he just opened his mouth. For a blind man like him, is this really unfriendly? Frank? as a warrior with countless honors. He is a talkative person. The three of them didn't speak. Spider-Man stepped forward and looked at Frank. The same height of 2 meters, full of muscles. He couldn't help but stretched out his hand and patted it. Wow! You're so strong. Compared with Luke, they are like black and white. Am I going to be replaced by you? Speaking of which, you and Luke are really well matched, just like me and Daredevil. Oh yes, what's your nickname? His name is Daredevil, Luke doesn't have a nickname. My name is Spider-Man, isn't that cool? Frank rubbed his eyebrows. Look at the two daredevils. Can I gag him? You didn't even mention that you had to deal with a talkative person when you called me here. That's another price. Daredevil sighed. Little Spider-Man, stop it. He's the Frank Custer I told you about. After finishing speaking, he introduced to Frank. Frank, his name is Spider-Man, and he's my other companion. The strength is no less than Luke's, and his speed and perception ability are his strengths. And there's special cobweb gear. Frank nodded. He silently calculated the equipment that could be broken down in his mind. But it's not that exciting anymore. Spider-Man's chatterbox diluted his excitement. It's so annoying. It's like he doesn't want money. Better than his Gatling. After all the introductions, Daredevil clapped his hands. Okay, let me tell you something. From today on, Frank will be a member of our Defenders. Everyone. Before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by Frank. No, not yet. You promised me. Spider-Man and Luke were stunned. What does it mean? Any more requests? You know, there are no requirements for them to join. Suddenly, my impression of Frank was not very good. Daredevil apologized quickly. Oh yes, I also promised Frank something. He wants the battlesuits and weapons the three of us once had. Anything that can be eliminated can be eliminated. The longer you use it, the better. Spider-Man, Luke Cage, hi? They both looked at Daredevil in surprise. Looked at Frank again. Just want the old clothes and weapons. No other requirements. This thing about people is just cheap. When people make demands, they feel they are excessive. As a result, they only wanted obsolete clothes and weapons. I also felt that the amount given was too little. But Daredevil and Spider-Man seem to be in tights, right? I have no problem in my mind. Who wants this thing? Is this guy a pervert? Daredevil shook his head. There is none left. The Federation is a tolerant country. There is no discrimination against perverts. Luke Cage apologized slightly. Sorry Frank, I thought. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 9. Spider-Man said the same. Yes, I'm sorry too. I didn't expect you to be our fan. Everyone knows that I, Spider-Man, am the most beloved fan. Tomorrow, I will bring you all my old clothes and weapons. That's right. It turns out Frank is our fan. After Spider-Man said this, they figured it out immediately. It's not just perverts who can ask for this kind of clothes. And there are fans. It's just that they didn't expect it. They actually have fans. Although he is a muscular man. Frank opened his mouth. But look at them so excited. He closed his mouth again. Forget it, fans will be fans. As long as you can get the clothes. The next day. Just arrived at the meeting place. Frank received 3 large packages of gifts. 3 people, 1 pack per person. Seeing these 3 big bags, Frank suddenly smiled. He was very excited when he thought that he was about to greatly improve his strength. This kind of excitement fell in the eyes of the 3 people. This further confirms the fact that Frank is their fan. A feeling emerged in my heart that I must make a good battlesuit in the future. Not when giving it to fans. Embarrassed because the battlesuit is too ugly. Afterwards, the 4 separated. Daredevil is responsible for finding out the information. Prepare for action. Spider-Man continues to do justice. And Frank, carrying 3 large bags. Turn around and come to the decomposition shop. Mr. Ron, excuse me. Do not bother. Ron is having dinner at the moment. He gestured to Frank. Would you like something to eat? Frank waved his hand. No, no, I'm here to dismantle the equipment. Ron's eyes fell on Frank's hand. Suddenly he was stunned. All these are. Hey guys, how much is this? Where did you get it? Do so much? You won't rob other extraordinary people, right? What Ron didn't know was that it wasn't far from the truth. He didn't believe that what Frank took was garbage. Frank has come to break it down many times. The law of decomposition has long been tested. Except for powerful extraordinary beings. Ordinary people's stuff is of no use at all. Frank smiled shyly. Not without. These are all gifts from friends. A gift from a friend? Ron gave him a look of understanding. I understand. If you don't fight, you won't get to know each other. Once you win, you become a friend. We are friends, so giving me something is not too much, right? Besides, I need clothes and so on. What friend can't bear to part with you? Take your pick, do you choose to get beaten again or give me clothes? Well, everyone should know how to choose. Ron waved. Okay, let's break it down and let me see what good things you have brought. Okay, Mr. Ron. Frank nodded. Put rice gold skillfully. Then he took out a tights and placed it at the entrance. Ron blinked. Why do these clothes look so familiar? This familiar color, this familiar pattern. Isn't this Spider-Man's suit? Are you being ripped off by Spider-Man? Ron took a look inside the bundle. Good guy. Is this the end of Spider-Man's family? A pack full of spider suits? At this moment, the decomposer light curtain lights up. Sure enough, what is shown above is Spider-Man's clothes. Spider-Man's simple battle suit level, blue note, although the materials are simple and the techniques are spicy, its owner makes it of great value. It is recommended to use the elementary level decomposition machine. Do you want to decompose it? Well, you can see it at a glance. This is either the first or the second thing Peter has made. It really matches the name. Not too crude. And only when he first became Spider-Man. If the strength is not strong, it is only blue. If it is the later spider suit, Ron estimated that it might reach purple. It's Little Spider-Man after all. Known as Little Hulk. Same as the Captain of the United States. A guy whose combat prowess is a mystery. The early combat power is only 1 or 20 tons. Then, I don't know how I was able to pull the train by hand. That power, let alone 10 tons, can't pull 100 tons. Finally, I was able to catch Black Dwarf's battle axe with my bare hands. And he even teased Iron Man without blushing or out of breath. Black Dwarf is a strong man who needs Hulk to fight against the enemy. The guy who pressed down on Tony who was wearing nano armor and beat him. At least level sub-godfather, another Thanos right-hand man. At first glance, it shouldn't be something Spider-Man can fight against. However, the reality is that science fiction. The sound of gears from the decomposer ended. The light curtain lights up. Decomposition successful. Elementary level melee combat skills *6. Defective will *3. Broken crystal fragment *1. Weak spider telepathy *1. Decomposition is complete, do you want to extract it immediately? It was just as Ron expected. There's not much to break down. It looks like it hasn't been worn for long. 2 more defective wills than Phil Coulson's pistol. There is a weakened version of spider telepathy. It seems that it has been weakened by an unknown number of times. Frank crushed them one by one and absorbed them. Feeling the improvement in strength, Frank is satisfied and ready to decompose again. Ron suddenly interrupted him. No need to break it down again and again. The decomposer can decompose the same level together. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 10. Frank's face was full of resentment. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Do you know how difficult it is for me to get 1,000 meters of gold from Maria? No. You do not know. You single. Definitely, Frank only dared to think this in his heart. Thanks to Ron for his guidance. Saved him a lot of money. Next he sorted all the equipment into categories. Nothing is less than blue. There are 15 blue ones. There are 5 green ones. There are 20 pieces in total, including the disassembled ones, 21 pieces. Frank, sure enough, it has to be a transcendent one. It seems that he will make more friends with extraordinary people in the future. I remember there was a mutant academy in New York. Well, he thinks he should be qualified to be a teacher in the academy. As a teacher, it's normal to ask for 2 pieces of clothing that students don't want, right? In case of gaining variant ability. Hiss. Cool. Not waiting for his sexual intercourse to end. The decomposition machine has been completely decomposed. Elementary level fighting skills *25. Broken will *3. Broken crystal *2. Weak sensing ability *7. Indestructible *1. Do you want to withdraw immediately? Frank sees the rewards broken down. He couldn't help but frown. Why are there so few decomposed items out of 20 pieces of equipment? Only 3 wills? Crystals, wait. Crystal? Not crystal fragments? Frank opened his eyes and looked carefully. Grip grass is really a crystal. Quickly finished 25 elementary level fighting skills and 7 weak sensory abilities. 1 indestructible. If it were said before, he could barely defend himself against pistol bullets. Now he can at least withstand submachine gun bullets. It helped him a little, but not that much. With his speed, coupled with his newly improved sensing ability, it's easy to dodge bullets. Then, he extracted the broken will and broken crystal. As the white light exploded one by one, integrate into Frank's body. Strength, speed, endurance, defense, etc. are all improving crazily. The energy in each cell has also more than doubled. My mind becomes clearer. The whole person has a feeling of transparency. He suddenly opened his eyes in shock. His overall strength has actually increased several times. These 2 kinds of light groups are actually 10 times more effective than the light groups he integrated before. Correct. The previous will was called defective will. This is called broken will. In other words, this is the previous upgraded version. The crystal has also been upgraded from broken fragments to broken. In that case, there is a higher level above. Based on his experience of decomposition. The higher the level of something, the greater the quantity. The more rewards you break down, the better. It's a pity that there is so much blue-green quality equipment. For the time being, I can only make up for this time. Those 3 were probably drained this time. It will take at least a few months if we want to collect so much again. After a few months, the daylilies are cold. No. It's hard to say, but he really has to apply for a job at Mutant Academy. Mr. Ron, I'm done decomposing it. Come back next time. Well, go and do your work. If you have any difficulties, you can come to me. Ron nodded in response. This is my big customer. Originally, Ron was still 200/10,000. Now it has reached 530/10,000. The energy in the body has also reached the planet level in one fell swoop. He didn't want anything to happen to Frank. He is still very happy to do a little favor for the potential stocks he is optimistic about. Okay, thank you Mr. Ron. After chatting with Ron for a few words, Frank left the store. The following few days, there have been no customers in the store. Phil Coulson is still waiting for Natasha Romanoff to return. Frank received such a huge benefit from Daredevil. He also tried his best to help Daredevil and fight against Kingpin's evil forces. For a time, the Defenders Alliance became famous in the underground world. Also because of the simple justice of Daredevil and Spider-Man. Provoked many enemies. Among them are the Hand and the Mutual Aid Society. It also attracted the attention of a transcendent being, Purple Man. Purple Man's super ability is to emit a hormone around his body. Hormones control other people, completely under his control. He has recently been eyeing 4 people from the Defenders. Plus the female supernatural being he's been tracking now. If the 5 extraordinary beings were all under his control. In this world, he can walk sideways. However, he was not prepared to deal with the Defenders first. After all, it is better to deal with 1 than 4. He first observed the movements of the 4 people. Spider-Man wanders among the buildings in New York every night. But it always ends up disappearing in Queens. Although I was afraid of being discovered, I didn't find out the specific address. But it's enough. Daredevil spends most of his time in Hell's Kitchen. Go against the Kingpin. I won't leave easily. The other 2 are even simpler. Luke Cage is full of muscles at first glance. It's absolutely simple to control. He has already calculated that he will start with Luke Cage when the time comes. Defeating them one by one. As for Frank, besides going home every day, he would meet with 3 other people. Occasionally I go to a decomposition shop alone. He could definitely take the opportunity to attack him in the decomposition shop. And now, he is in Manhattan. Focusing on the female superhuman who has been tracking for a long time. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 11. Frank is very happy today. Because the battle suits of my 3 companions have been updated again. And he also discovered Kingpin's subordinate Bullseye is pretty good. The main thing is, whether it's strength, speed, or defense, they are all defeated by him. He took advantage of the other 3 people not paying attention. I specially captured Bullseye once. After stripping off all his equipment, he was let go again. Including 3 teammates, I collected 10 pieces of equipment. Just got the equipment. He was going to the dismantling shop. By the way, check out Bullseye's equipment rating. If the rating is good, well, Frank announced, Bullseye will be his from now on. Excellent leaks. Go and cut a crop after a while. It would be nice if there were more leaks like this. On the way to the decomposition shop, Frank thought to himself, can't count on teammates. It is also impossible to change equipment casually without any reason. The 3 daredevils need to be replaced at least once a month. Strength improvement once a month is too slow. But, wait a month. The time is too short, and I am afraid that the equipment rating will not be high. Just then, a figure caught his attention. That's a woman. Not because of beauty. Rather, it is in his perception. This girl actually made him feel the slightest bit of danger. It feels very weak. But it also means that girls are definitely not simple. Extraordinary one. Frank suddenly blinked. Hey, just when I wanted leaks, they came. As for why they can't be teammates. Nonsense. Now that you're a teammate, you have the nerve to ask a girl for clothes? Girls are only 18 years old at most. Not much older than his daughter. Why do you want this? Isn't this a perverted uncle? So leaks are better. At least there's no pressure. But there are different ways to harvest leaks. Compared to enemies like Bullseye, girls who are obviously down and out are more suitable to spend money on. Not much to buy once a month, right? Well, counting 3 teammates, that's 5. Not bad. With this thought in mind, he slowly approached the other party. It's night now. Frank's behavior is as attention-grabbing as a firefly. His actions also attracted the attention of 2 people. One is that girl. One is the purple man. Yes, this girl is the female superhuman being tracked by Purple Man. The girl looked at him warily. This is Manhattan. Even at night, there are still people coming and going. Who are you? What are you going to do? The girl subconsciously took 2 steps back. Inexplicably, she sensed a threat in this big man. This big man is just like her. He is an extraordinary person. Frank coughed dryly. Suddenly I felt like I was a little abnormal at the moment. But in order to improve my strength, I fought hard. Well, my name is Frank, Frank Custer. I want to make a deal with you. Get out. I'm not that kind of woman. The girl suddenly shouted. Damn idiot. Silver stick. What do you think she is? Frank didn't react for a moment. Wait until he notices the strange looks around him. When there was a sound of pointing and talking. I can't stand it any longer. Grass. This is nothing. You misunderstood. I just want to spend money on the clothes you wear. As soon as he said this, the girl looked at him more like he was a pervert. Grabbing girls on the street. Open your mouth and negotiate a deal. Shut up and buy clothes that other girls have worn. Could this be a good person? Who would believe it? Roll. The girl was angry. If you don't get out of here, don't blame me for taking action. Frank finally realized at this time that he had said the wrong thing. Damn it. Fake. I never wanted to be a perverted uncle. In the end, no benefit was obtained. Still a pervert. Looking at this girl who is not much older than her own daughter. Frank scratched his head. He gritted his teeth and whispered. You misunderstood me. I can sense that you are an extraordinary person. I want to buy the battle suit you used. The battle suit works for me. The girl's eyes looked even weirder. Battle suit? A sweaty mess after a fight? Oh, you don't want it without girl's body fragrance? Does it have to smell like sweat? You still said I misunderstood you. Notice the look on the girl's face. Frank's face darkened even further. Why does this get darker the more you explain it? He took a deep breath. In this case, you come with me. Don't go. The girl shook her head. You're such a pervert, who knows where you're going to take me? Frank? He no longer wanted to explain. His eloquence was not suited to explanation. Now he just wants to get rid of his perverted identity. You can't kill this girl. So what is the difference between him and his enemies? Instead of killing? As a girl transcendent. Recognize yourself later. He is completely famous in the world of extraordinary beings. Everyone is Spider-Man, Daredevil. Come to him. Pervert? TMD. He pointed to the decomposition point not far ahead. Right ahead, the shop with the lights on. You'll understand then, but I'd still like you to sell me some of your battlesuits. The girl looked at the decomposition shop more than 100 meters ahead and blinked. It's not that far. Follow her along the way. After thinking for a moment, he nodded. Well, Uncle Pervert, you don't look like a bad guy. No pervert would explain this to anyone. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 12. This is more than 100 meters on the road. Frank also learned the girl's name. Jessica Jones. Just turned 18 this year. And saw the two of them getting together. The face of the purple man who was following not far away changed. Staring at Frank's back with dark eyes. I originally thought I would find you in 2 days. I didn't expect you to come up to me. That's just right, even you can control it this time. Watching the two of them walk into the store together. Zyron confirmed that there was no back door to the store. He also stepped in. Jessica, we agreed. Frank was arguing with Jessica. When that's explained, you'll sell me some of your battlesuits. Who told you? Jessica waited with big eyes. You obviously agreed unilaterally. Don't talk nonsense, I didn't promise you, joke. The battlesuit can actually be broken down into various rewards. She got crazy and sold the battlesuit to Frank. Isn't it delicious for your own use? You. Frank opened his mouth. Suddenly, I discovered that Jessica had indeed not agreed to anything. Sighed. All right. Anyway, I still have 10 pieces on hand. There should be a lot of improvements this time. At this moment, Frank suddenly noticed a person coming in at the door. With his years of special experience, Frank saw a cold glint in the stranger's eyes. And the deep longing in your eyes? He couldn't help but feel surprised. Follow the visitor's gaze. The target turned out to be him? Hold the grass. Is this a pervert? Turns out I'm not the only pervert. Wrong. Frank is not a pervert. This guy is the real pervert. Doesn't the pretty girl next to you long for a muscular man like him? Fake. The person who came was none other than Zyron. Zyron slowly walked to the two of them. Frank Custer, Jessica Jones. You should obey my orders. Wow. He knows our names. Jessica yelled. Perverted uncle, he can't be your companion, you are two perverts, right? Speaking of this, she couldn't help but fold her arms, looking scared. It's definitely all pretending. Frank told her when they entered the store. Inside the store, it's owner Ron's territory. Any extraordinary person here cannot use extraordinary abilities. Jessica didn't believe it. Then she pinched herself. Suddenly her big eyes became misty. Because she was used to strong defense, she didn't hold back at all. It came hard all at once. It didn't even hurt when I was hit by a bullet. She actually choked herself to tears. Frank rolled his eyes at her. He is not a pervert. See the reaction of the two people. The purple man frowned. What's the situation? They should have been controlled by him. Why doesn't my super ability work? I said you should obey my orders. I understand. Jessica yelled. His ability should be to control people with words. He's trying to control us. With Jessica's reminder, Frank also reacted. That's right. This weird behavior is obviously like using words to control people. And Frank didn't forget it. The man called out their names as soon as they met. You know, Frank and Jessica don't know each other. But he knew both of them at the same time. Obviously, the other party has been investigating them for a long time. It is even possible that his family members will be investigated by the other party. When Frank thought about this, a cold light suddenly flashed in his eyes. Murderous intent overflowed. Like killing the purple man immediately. Wow, uncle, your temperament has suddenly become so cold. Jessica was so frightened by Frank's murderous intention that she trembled. Are you going to kill him? Frank shook his head slowly. This store has rules. You can't do it in the store. Well, I think there should be exceptions. Suddenly a voice sounded. Frank was stunned. Look over quickly. I don't know when. Ron actually appeared on the boss's chair behind the counter. When he came in, Ron wasn't there. He thought Ron was out. Sure enough, how could the owner of this magical shop be an ordinary person? He nodded quickly to Ron and greeted him with respect. Good evening, Mr. Ron. Is he the owner of the store? Jessica's big, watery eyes stared closely at Ron. Look up and down. Other than being handsome, I don't see anything special about him. Ron had a huge smile on his face. The world has always been so unfair to me. He has given me so many advantages, and also given me a handsome and miserable face. It completely covers up all my other advantages. Let the world only notice my handsome face, but not the excellent inside. Frank? Jessica. Wow, Mr. Boss, you are so shameless. Frank clearly wanted to nod in agreement. But he stopped hastily. He is not a beauty. In this case, there is no right to preferential treatment. Ron replied with a smile. Well, thanks for the compliment. But I don't think that's important. If you don't take action, that guy will run away. As he spoke, he pointed at the purple man who quietly walked toward the door. Purple man. MMP. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 13. While Frank and the two didn't react, Zyron rushed out of the store. After leaving the store, Purple Man realizes that his super ability has finally returned to normal. I felt relieved inside. I was in the store just now. He just discovered that super ability was suppressed. Then he planned to leave quietly. I didn't expect to be exposed by the damn boss. His enemies never stay overnight. Usually the opponent is controlled on the spot. If you are interested, play with it. Not interested in directly controlling the other person to commit suicide. Now I feel confident. He simply turned around and blocked the door. Sit back and wait for Frank to come out. Also teach that damn boss a lesson. Let him pay attention in his next life. Inside the store, you can control people just by thinking about them speaking. Frank wanted to chase him out, but stopped quickly. What's wrong, pervert? Jessica looked at him. After leaving the store, his super ability was restored. One word could control us. Frank's eyes were serious. Stated the seriousness of the current situation. Ah? What should we do? Jessica's expression suddenly changed. I don't want to be controlled by that pervert. Frank couldn't help but look at Ron. Didn't Ron tell him that if he had any difficulties, he could come to Ron? Mr. Ron, could you please? Ron smiled and said, don't worry. His super ability is just that of a first-time super. That is, surface level. As long as he has planet-level strength, he will be unable to control it. Surface level? Planet level? What a novel title. But now is not the time to dwell on this. Jessica asked hurriedly. Mr. Boss, what strength do I have? Ron glanced at her. You are probably in the late stage of the surface level. But you have more potential than that. If developed, it should easily reach planet level. The late stage of the surface. In other words, if she faced the pervert outside, would she be controlled without any power to fight back? Jessica couldn't help but feel a little scared. That's not the end. She quickly pointed at Frank and asked. What about him? Ron replied softly. Frank is in the middle of the surface level. Not as good as me? Jessica was a little desperate. That's not the end. Neither of us can beat him. Frank couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. Are you in the middle stage of the surface level? Not even a little girl. He clearly felt that Jessica was no threat to him. I thought he must be at least at the top of the surface level. The words were not asked out loud. Otherwise Ron would definitely tell him. Strength level isn't everything. Based on Frank's fighting experience. Not to mention now, even Jessica's strength is improving by another level. Nor will he be his opponent. See the looks on the two people's faces. Ron pointed at the equipment Frank brought. Isn't there a way to improve your strength? That guy's control ability, in addition to being strong, can offset it. You also have strong willpower and can resist. With Frank's willpower, all he needs to do is reach the surface level peak. It's hard to control him. Frank was stunned. Yes. If I'm not strong enough, I can improve. I brought all the equipment, why did I forget it? Jessica's big eyes lit up. Uncle, please let me come. If I advance to the planet level, I will definitely beat him up. I don't recommend you use the decomposer. Ron reminded aloud. Your original potential is not low, and your body is still gradually adapting to the increased power. Suddenly, your strength increases dramatically. Before you can be controlled by that guy, you will probably lose control. All right. Jessica sadly gave up the idea. Frank gave Ron a grateful look. This situation is really suitable for Jessica. After all, Ron said it too. He who is at the pinnacle of the surface level may not be controlled. This also means that it is possible to be controlled. But it was given to Jessica. He is not willing to give in. Before and after running. Finally got 10 pieces. Just give it up. Hiss, it makes me sad just thinking about it. Put the gear on. Listen to the sound of gears turning inside. Frank felt relieved. Jessica's eyes widened. Staring straight. Just put it in and be done with it. So many things, though. How do you install such a small machine? Medium level fighting skills *2. Broken will *6. Broken crystal *2. Weak sensing ability *2. Indestructible *1. Do you want to withdraw immediately? When the sound is seen it stops. When a light curtain appears in front of you. Jessica's eyes widened even more. Frank was overjoyed. Because he saw the broken will *6. The heart that had been hanging around was also relieved. Mainly because Purple Man's super ability puts too much pressure on him. Language controls people. In case of taking control of his family. He didn't even know what to do. Withdraw rewards without hesitation. Beat them to pieces one by one. As the light spots blend into the body. Frank's breath is also constantly improving. +1 again for indestructible. 6. Broken will light groups. Let his strength reach the planet level in one fell swoop. And with the broken crystal, medium level fighting skills are integrated. He also finally understood what skills beyond elementary level fighting were like. It turns out to be the use of energy. P.S. New book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 14. Jessica was stunned. Directly numb. It's true. Just a few light groups go down. Frank's strength has grown by leaps and bounds. She could sense it clearly. Frank is at least 3 times stronger than before. The powerful aura that filled her body left her with no courage to resist. If you say before. Jessica is still confident that she can run away even if she can't be beaten. Now, I'm afraid I can't even run away. What an amazing machine. Decomposer. Decompose clothes, weapons. Damn it. Why did I throw away all my old clothes? Jessica wanted to slap herself twice. No way. Her entire family died in an accident. Only herself was left. Just adopted by the Jones family. A girl who has just grown up. Suddenly experienced such a big ordeal. It is already very difficult not to collapse. Who would bother to organize their battlesuit? No one from Ron paid attention to what Jessica was thinking. Because they are all feeling the surge in power within their bodies. Breakthrough to planet level. Frank is still a little uncomfortable with it. And Ron has taken a big step forward on the planet. 1030/10,000. His current strength can easily defeat his previous self. Pure strength would probably be calculated in hundreds of tons. A powerful feeling filled almost every corner of his body. He clenched his fist slightly. Feel the air being squeezed in your hands. It can be said that there is no need to sit in a supercar and open the window to experience it. All he needed was a fist pump. From B to E, everything he wants to feel is available. Ron smiled with satisfaction. Very perfect. His current power could probably crush the early Hulk. The newly born Hulk is like a baby. Every time you show up you are growing. Every time you grow, it's not just intelligence, it's strength. In the later stages, you can even fight Thanos who has gems. What a unique and enviable ability. Ron sighed inwardly. Suddenly he was stunned. So, my current power is only equivalent to that of Hulk as a toddler? In other words, you are bullying others while they are still young? Grass. Why do I feel so heartbroken all of a sudden? I thought I was already invincible. Take a closer look, Kid King. Just when Ron was heartbroken, Frank adapted to the surge in power. Mr. Ron, Jessica, I'll go outside and deal with him first. Purple people are immortal. Frank didn't feel at ease for a moment. Such a weird guy is too threatening. Follow Frank to the door. Jessica stood carefully inside the door. Look outside. I have no intention of leaving. Outside, Frank and Purple Man stood opposite each other. The Purple Man slowly walked towards Frank. With a proud smile on his face. The turtle finally dared to come out. Frank Custer, kneel down. Purple Man shouted an order. Frank's eyes were in a trance. Before he could concentrate, he realized that his body was no longer under his control. Involuntarily, he slowly bent his knees to the Purple Man. He subconsciously wanted to control his body. But there was no way to regain control. It's like this body is not his. Even if he has an iron will. You can't control other people's bodies either. However, Frank has planet-level strength. At this moment, a reversal effect was achieved. The extremely terrifying power must be controlled by a powerful consciousness. The terrifying mobilization of power instantly activated Frank's will. The cells all over his body became more active and excited than ever before. A steady stream of resisting power surges out of the body. Gradually, Frank was finally able to perceive the existence of his body. The knee that was slowly bent suddenly stopped. Damn it! The Purple Man's expression changed and he repeated the order again. Kneel down. At the same time, super ability is activated. The emitted hormones want to invade Frank's body. Take full control of Frank. However, when Frank sensed a volcanic eruption of energy within his body, his face changed completely. He shouldn't have such power. How could he have such great power? Watching Frank's trembling legs slowly stand up straight. Eventually even the trembling disappeared. The body was completely wrested from his control. There was fear in Zyron's eyes. This moment, Frank seemed to have broken through some kind of shackles in his body. The power suddenly surged again. Under a tyrannical force. There were cracks on the ground beneath his feet. Ah! Frank yelled. With the roar, Frank completely took control of everything in his body. Frank clenched his fists. The surging power put a smile on his face. Very good. Thanks to you, I was able to adapt to the surge in power so quickly. I'll let you die a happy death. Facing Frank's murderous eyes, Ziren was horrified to find that things were out of control. Since gaining super ability, no one has ever escaped his control. This gave him a sense of purpose above all else. The delusion that he is God. Now he suddenly found out. It turns out there is still someone who can kill him. The Purple Man turned and ran away. He now no longer wants to control Frank. Just want to escape. As for the future, since Frank can't be controlled, that takes control of Frank's family. He didn't believe that Frank wasn't obedient. And the power in Frank's body makes him extremely obsessed. What a powerful force that is. He was extremely certain. Frank alone is stronger than 5 or 10 people. However, as he ran quickly, dreaming about the future, a sharp edge pierced his back. Immediately afterwards, only a boom was heard. He completely lost consciousness. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 15. What a speed! What a powerful force! Watching the last one arrive first, he quickly caught up with the Purple Man. Frank, who punched the Purple Man into powder. Jessica murmured. The more envious I am, the more I want to beat myself up a few times. Why don't you have the habit of saving battlesuits? Ron smiled. Don't envy others, your potential is equally strong. Jessica replied with a frown. Let me lend you some good words. I don't know if it's okay. I watched Frank improve his strength just by using his old battlesuit. Think of yourself again. It was simply worse than killing her. Ron smiled and said nothing more. Jessica Jones. In the Marvel world, there are few extraordinary beings with flight ability. It's not about energy. But like Superman, it is a super ability that allows itself to ignore the gravity of the Earth. Flight, what a powerful ability. Although, Ron can barely fly now. But that's not ability. Instead, it relies on the planet-level energy in the body. When the energy is exhausted, the plane will crash. Shield Natasha Romanoff stepped off the fighter plane with a surprised look on her face. Shouldn't she be asking Stark to find out information? Why did he ask her to come back just as he was on the right track? She didn't even have time to receive her salary. Working for Stark for free for a month. Before she even walked into the S.H.I.E.L.D. building. Then she saw Phil Coulson waiting for her. Phil Coulson, agent. Phil Coulson is all smiles. Natasha Romanoff, agent, please excuse me this time. What happened? Natasha Romanoff asked, confused. What could be more important than Tony Stark? That was Howard's son, one of the founders of SHIELD. However, Phil Coulson's words made her pupil shrink. I discovered extraordinary items that can make people become extraordinary without any side effects. Before she could ask, Phil Coulson took her to another fighter plane that had been prepared. Let's go, we'll tell you the details on the way. The two walked all the way to Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. Natasha Romanoff didn't even come to her senses. The magical decomposition machine can dismantle weapons and equipment. The decomposed rewards can strengthen themselves. Is this reasonable? Not scientific at all. What about conservation of energy? A broken pistol and a piece of broken clothes can increase your strength? Phil Coulson's words severely refreshed her outlook. Subvert her understanding. Phil Coulson smiled bitterly. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't tried it myself. It's just a head. When you get there, go and try it yourself. The magic of that stuff. It still makes him a little bit unable to recover. Natasha Romanoff nodded. But at this moment, the expressions of both of them changed at the same time. He looked towards the street not far away. I saw it in public. One figure actually caught up with another at a speed beyond the naked eye. Directly blasted it into powder. Looking at the panicked crowd, the two men quickly took out their guns and rushed forward. Frank Custer. As he got closer, Phil Coulson could tell the man's identity at a glance. Because Nick Fury once recruited. Natasha Romanoff has also heard of this guy. Frank Custer. Isn't he a normal person? Such power and speed. Can this person be a normal person? He just gets the power from the decomposition shop. Phil Coulson put down his pistol with a wry smile. Even if you can't defeat other extraordinary beings, he could also try to scare him. Frank, forget it. For organizations like SHIELD, Frank was not in awe at all. Otherwise, he would not have refused Nick Fury's solicitation without hesitation. However, it is not a trivial matter for an extraordinary person to kill people on the street. The two walked forward and Phil Coulson asked. Frank Custer, what's going on with you? Do any strangers know me again? Frank's unyielding murderous intent surged forward. Natasha Romanoff quickly raised her pistol and assumed a fighting stance. See Natasha Romanoff in her standard military fighting stance. Frank then looked at the two of them intently. After seeing Phil Coulson's iconic hairline, Frank stared blankly. Oh, this isn't the guy next to Nick Fury. Yeah, very Nick Fury style. It is estimated that when he is completely bald, he will be able to take Nick Fury's place. Nods to Phil Coulson. Phil Coulson recognized Frank when he saw him. Asked quickly. Mr. Custer, you know our duties. So can you tell me what happened just now? Frank pondered for a moment. That was a person with super ability just now. Super ability is suspected of using language to control other people's bodies. Even if you are much stronger than him, you will still be controlled. He targeted me, so I killed him. So that's it. Phil Coulson breathed a sigh of relief. So that's it. He also gained knowledge. I didn't expect to have such super ability. This would be running to S.H.I.E.L.D. and taking control of a group of people. This ability is simply terrifying. Hey? This person's ability is similar to that of a super ability person wanted by Shield. It's also the controller, can't it be the same person? That guy just does it for fun. It has controlled many people to commit suicide. Phil Coulson took this to heart. We'll investigate again when we get back. Now he's tasked with dismantling the store. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 16. Looking at Phil Coulson following behind him, Frank was stunned. Are you going to Mr. Ron's shop too? Phil Coulson smiled and nodded. That's right. Mr. Ron's decomposing machine is amazing. It's amazing indeed. Frank nodded in agreement. But when I saw the two of them, I was very depressed. I thought I knew the dismantling shop. It turns out someone else knows. This is just great. Someone else robbed him of the equipment that was not rich to begin with. Well, more and more people may be snatching it in the future. It seems that I can no longer eat alone. I need to make it clear to a few other people. There is strength in numbers. Don't worry about not being able to grab the equipment when the time comes. The three of them arrived at the decomposition shop in silence. Hello, Mr. Ron, I'm here to disturb you again. Phil Coulson greeted with a smile. Ron nodded at him. Natasha Romanoff looked at Ron curiously. Besides being young and handsome, unremarkable, is he also a powerful transcendent? I couldn't help but look up and down. Lazy temperament. Loose posture. He doesn't have the temperament of a strong person at all. Compared with Frank next to him, it's like a tiger and a cat. Frank is a tiger. As Natasha Romanoff looked at Ron, Ron looked at her. Worthy of being a heavyweight. It's indeed big enough. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but glance at Jessica. Well, not small either. This world is just as good as this. Not a small one. At this moment, Ron saw the hills rising up as far as the eye could see. Was discovered. Look away casually. Jessica laughed and teased him. How does it look good? Compared with this sister's, does mine look better? He said, afraid that Ron could not see clearly. He even took 2 steps forward. Would you like to try it out? Looking straight at Ron with wide eyes. Hiss. It is unbearable. Ron waved his hand. The 2 men immediately disappeared into the hall. The remaining 3 looked at each other. Frank coughed dryly. Well, I still have something to do. You are busy, so I'll leave first. Just as he was about to turn around, his eyes suddenly blurred. Ron and Ron appeared in the hall again. The only difference is that Jessica's face is crimson. So fast? Do you have 10 seconds? The 3 of them looked strange. Looking at Ron, who looked calm, and Jessica, who was much quieter. No one dared to speak. Ron glanced at them. Do you still need a decomposer? Why don't you stand here? Want to stay and be a waiter for me? Ah? Mr. Ron, do you want to be a waiter? Phil Coulson's eyes lit up. Subconsciously looking at Natasha Romanoff. Well, who else is more suitable than her? Zheng Zhou doesn't know how to find out Ron's information. Ron looked at him with a smile. Hire, do you have anyone to recommend? Phil Coulson is also smiling. Yes, I just don't know what your request is, Mr. Ron. You don't ask for much. Once you enter the store, you are mine. Ron spoke softly. Completely obey my orders. Let her warm the bed. Jessica's face turned redder when she heard this. Couldn't help but glare at Ron. He is indeed an irresponsible man. Even if it's just mo. I get tired of the old so quickly. Falling in love with another woman. Phil Coulson also had a familiar smile on his face. However, the next words made the smile on Phil Coulson's face freeze. If I let her die, she must die too. A soft tone and a smiling face. It shocked Phil Coulson. I just felt the cold wind blowing on my back. Suddenly I broke into cold sweat. Phil Coulson? Phil Coulson. After a while, under Natasha Romanoff's call, Phil Coulson came back to his senses. What's wrong with you? Facing Natasha Romanoff's question, Phil Coulson looked blank. What's wrong? Natasha Romanoff was even more surprised. I was just talking to Mr. Ron again. Why did you suddenly break out in a cold sweat and didn't say a word? What? Phil Coulson's eyes and body were shocked. Natasha Romanoff was so close to him. But is he the only one affected? It was such a terrifying momentum just now. For a moment Phil Coulson thought he was dead. When looking at Ron again. At some point, Ron returned to the boss's chair behind the counter. He was wandering around and sipping tea. Look at Natasha Romanoff's clueless look. Phil Coulson gasped. Wiped the sweat from his forehead. Nothing, let's go and break down the equipment first. Good. Natasha Romanoff saw something was wrong with Phil Coulson at this time. No more questions. With the guidance of the old man Phil Coulson, Natasha Romanoff puts away her gear. He watched curiously as the decomposer collected the equipment. There were bursts of gear sounds. The other side. Frank, who was about to leave, was stopped by Ron. Mr. Ron. Ron reached out and took out something and handed it to him. This is the detector. Put it on your ear and press this button. A light curtain will appear. The light curtain will detect the level of the items you see based on your line of sight. This is after the decomposer decomposes a large number of items. Produced accessories. It has only one effect. But for Frank, it was great. This way he can check the level himself. Don't worry about missing high-level equipment. Thank you, Mr. Ron. Ron waved his hand. This is what you deserve. At this time, Frank suddenly heard the sound of the communicator. What's wrong? Little Spider-Man needs help? Okay, I got it, it's here. After hanging up, Frank looked at Ron. Mr. Ron, I'm leaving first. Ron nodded, go ahead, go ahead. I wish Frank could be busy. Where would you get the equipment if you were not busy? We are all busy, so be busy. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 17. Frank's departure did not affect Natasha Romanoff at all. Look at the light curtain. Phil Coulson frowned slightly. Hey? Why are there so few? Elementary level fighting skills *5. Broken will *2. Broken crystal *1. Do you want to withdraw immediately? He was dismantling the blue pistol. I'll have a will. Why are there only 2 of these 3 green equipments? The rewards are so different. Even though Phil Coulson still has the shadow that Ron brought to him before. I had to bite the bullet and ask. Mr. Ron, is there something wrong with the decomposer? How did the green equipment decompose into 2 broken wills? That's right. That thing of yours is called defective will. The effect of broken will is 10 times that of defective will. Ron didn't even look up. Judging from Phil Coulson's appearance, Ron was quite satisfied. Dare to draw attention to him. If he didn't show any strength, I really thought he was easy to bully. That was just a way for him to use energy. The first time I used it, the effect was pretty good. 10 times. Phil Coulson was shocked. That's equivalent to 20. He used 1 and increased his strength by 100 kilograms. Doesn't 20 increase the number by a ton? He only used it once. Little did he know that the improvement in strength was not what he calculated at all. A ton? It will only get higher. Phil Coulson quickly urged Natasha Romanoff to withdraw and use it. Natasha Romanoff also had a touch of excitement on her face. Slap without hesitation. Watch the light spots melt into your body. Feeling numb all over. And accompanied by bursts of tingling in all cells. It was like receiving an electric shock. The violent electric current flows all over the body quickly. Natasha Romanoff gritted her teeth. As a top agent, this kind of stimulation is still within the range of her tolerance. The painful process only lasts a few seconds. After the end, she clearly felt that her physical fitness was growing like crazy. Natasha Romanoff was delighted. Use your arm slightly. Stab it. Still a little uncomfortable with the sudden increase in strength. It actually tore the combat uniform directly. This is a specially made combat uniform. Can withstand hundreds of kilograms of pulling force. Now she couldn't bear Natasha Romanoff's gentle tug. This is an increase of a ton. At least 3 to 5 tons. The specific amount will only be known after testing. The store was empty again. Ron felt the strength growing inside his body again, and a smile appeared on his lips. Why are you laughing maliciously? Jessica suddenly burst in. Ron rolled his eyes. Didn't you leave with Frank? What are you doing here again? The Spider-Man and his team encountered a lizard monster. Jessica explained. The monster ran away halfway through. Frank and I's abilities are not suitable for searching, so we didn't go. Go home when you're fine. Ron said calmly. Wow. You're such a person. Jessica looked abandoned. You've touched me and you're irresponsible, but you're still not a man. Ron took a sip of tea with a calm expression. Then what do you want? If you were hit by someone while walking on the street, would you let someone take responsibility? Jessica said angrily. You are unreasonable. Can unintentional and intentional things be the same? Ron blinked. But that's what you asked for. You stood up in front of me and let me try it, but you didn't say you would hold me responsible. You. Jessica opened her mouth and suddenly realized that this was really the case. But that was a joke. Who would take it seriously? How dare you do it? Ron, me. Jessica, ah. I'm so angry. I'm going to beat you BD to ashes. Waving his little fist, he was about to cross the counter. She was about to pounce. Ron reached out a little and stopped her in place. I'm the boss, come with me in my store. You will be punished to stand here for 2 hours. Inside the store, Ron is in control. Jessica. Ah. A hole. You can't just catch me. Take me in your arms. Damn it, you are so handsome and you don't have a girlfriend. Deserve it. But Ron didn't know what she was thinking. I just feel like women are so annoying. You let me touch it. After touching it, I was asked to take responsibility again. Good guy. Fishing law enforcement. I really thought he was a fool. Cut. At the same time. The meeting point for the defenders. The 4 people are discussing countermeasures. Spider-Man is explaining the situation to the 3 people. That lizard man is Dr. Connors of Osborn. He had one of his hands blown off on the battlefield and has always wanted to cure his disability. Researching cross-species gene transplantation, I want to transplant the self-healing factors of lizards into the body. But there is still a very important formula missing, the serum is not completed. He injected the serum into his body, so it became what it is now. Frank scratched his head. In a way, he was successful. After all, I want to restore my arm. This is not recovery. Little Spider-Man rolled his eyes. Uncle Custer, can you be more serious? Luke Cage blinked. As a tank, he is not suitable for such situations where he uses his brain. I got up, poured a cup of coffee, and turned on the TV. Little Spider-Man yelled. Oh. Luke. Can you be more serious too? Everyone is discussing. Luke Cage felt that it was not right to turn on the TV. It really needs to be closed. Suddenly, Frank stared at the TV screen. Wait. Don't close it yet. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 18. At this moment, a piece of news was broadcast on the TV. The picture is of a university campus. To be precise, it was a university campus in a mess. There were craters everywhere. Still burning with blazing flames. Soldiers went back and forth on the field to clean up the remains of what appeared to be armored vehicles. Why do you say suspected? Because, the fragments seemed to have been bombarded by countless missiles. Distorted by huge amounts of power shape-shifting. If there weren't some faint traces on it to prove it. Frank believed it was waste from the garbage dump. A female reporter holds a microphone. There are rumors of heavy fighting between the military and unknown enemies at Culver University. I specifically found 2 Culver sophomores. They said they witnessed the entire incident. Let's ask them. Then the screen cuts to an afro. Exaggerated tones and expressions filled the entire TV screen. That's a huge green giant. My friend is a reporter for the school newspaper, and he took it on his cell phone. However, due to the fighting, the distance was still too far. I didn't fully see the scene of the Hulk tearing apart the army with his hands. Another big green guy, little Spider-Man muttered. However, he seems to be much more powerful than Dr. Connors when he became a lizard man. You are right, he is very powerful. Frank looked straight at the TV. If he read it correctly, there were more than just the remains of armored vehicles on the ground. There are also pieces of the gunship. Tear apart the helicopter with your hands. Now that he has entered the planet level for the first time, he can barely do it. The Hulk is a strong man who is not weaker than planet level. His pants should be pretty good. Ha! The three people present are all super ability people. Frank's muttering voice could be heard clearly. He suddenly looked weird. Uncle Custer, you don't really have a clothes fetish, do you? Collect clothes of extraordinary people and hold an exhibition. When guests come to visit, you explain it. Look, this is Spider-Man's battlesuit. I promised you in advance that my battlesuit will be placed in the most conspicuous position when the time comes. Luke Cage touched his chest muscles. Well, forget about mine. I don't really like being on display. Daredevil, Frank? You all shut up. When did I say I was going to hold an exhibition? Those battlesuits are very useful. They can improve your strength, do you understand? You three idiots. He's had enough. I originally wanted to find an opportunity to explain it clearly to them. One person can't find equipment as quickly as three people working together. Now there is a detector sponsored by Ron. These three idiots. SB. The three of them were stunned by Frank's outburst. It took him a while to react. You said those old battlesuits can improve your strength, little Spider-Man's voice trembled. So, you want my battlesuit not because you are a fan of mine. Wow. The first fan in my life is gone. Obviously, a lot of geek focus is never expected. Daredevil, the wisest of them all, gets the point right. Frank, you said improving your strength. How can old clothes improve my strength? Frank nodded. Boss Ron's shop has a magical machine called a decomposer. The decomposer can decompose equipment. After the equipment is decomposed, we will be rewarded with various light groups. Some can improve combat skills, and some can improve physical strength. Daredevil's voice was slightly excited. Are you telling the truth? Just old clothes? Frank nodded. It definitely doesn't belong to anyone. The stronger the original owner of the clothes, the higher the level of the clothes. The higher the level of clothing, the better the reward. So, it's best to be a transcendent. Daredevil fully unfolds his perception. Frank, how strong are you now? Can you let us take a look? Frank stood up and rolled up his sleeves. It's too troublesome. You three can come together. Daredevil's breath hitched. You want to challenge the three of us? Frank nodded. That's right. Daredevil was silent. In his perception, Frank's heartbeat did not change at all. In Frank's opinion, 1 versus 3 is no challenge at all. No preparation is required. At this time, Luke Cage finally reacted. So, Frank, you want my clothes to increase your strength? Damn Frank, you're such a selfish guy. How many clothes have you taken from me? No, it's too irritating. You hid such an important thing from us. I have to beat you up. Aren't they companions? They never knew about such a big thing. It is shameful to eat alone. No matter what, they both have to eat together. Luke Cage looked like a black yak charging towards him. Frank stood motionless. There is no murderous intent in Luke Cage. Apparently he was a little angry because of Frank's dishonesty. Daredevil takes perception to the maximum, watching the battle between the two with all your strength. Luke Cage slammed into Frank. Frank didn't resist, let alone fight back. He resisted the impact with force. Luke Cage lands a left hook. Punched Frank in the chest. Bang. Okay, let's take it out. Frank was neither blushing nor out of breath. Hold Luke Cage steady. I only throw one punch, 5 points of force. What? Luke Cage's expression changed drastically. He just got really angry. It took 8 points of effort. In his opinion, 8 points of force is enough to defeat Frank. Nothing happens now. Bang. Frank punched him in the left chest. Fuck. Luke Cage let out a cry of pain and disappeared in front of the three people. It hit a big hole in the wall and flew backwards. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 19. Frank, you're such a BD. Luke Cage rubbed his chest. Swearing at Frank. Thankfully we treat you as a companion. Daredevil patted Luke Cage on the shoulder. Okay, we didn't know Frank well at that time. Besides, if it weren't for Frank, we would have to throw away the old clothes sooner or later. That's right, I thought Uncle Custer was really my fan. Little Spider-Man nodded in agreement. I also found some of my earliest battle suits and gave them to him. Now that I think about it, it's really embarrassing. Frank smiled and patted little Spider-Man. Ha ha ha, sorry. Daredevil looked at Frank thoughtfully. So, you just fell in love with the Hulk's pants? Pants made of ordinary materials can also be considered equipment? Definitely. Frank nodded. As long as you are strong enough and the clothes on your body are not broken into pieces, they will be regarded as equipment by the decomposing machine. And that Hulk obviously has planet-level strength. The pants are at least above the green level. Maybe even purple. Daredevil suddenly thought of something. Frank, what is the level of our 3 battle suits? Green, mostly blue. Frank replied. Only those above blue can decompose good things. I haven't seen purple equipment yet. Etc. Little Spider-Man interrupted the two of them. Uncle Custer, what do you mean by planet-level strength? It's the level of a transcendent. Frank explained to the 3 of them. Mr. Ron classified the strength of extraordinary people into different levels. You 3 are now at the surface level. I just entered the planet level. There is a galaxy level above the planet level. Mr. Ron said that there are stronger existences above the galaxy level. However, we are still far away. If it can reach the galaxy level, it will almost ignore all thermal weapons. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is a god on Earth, little Spider-Man asked impatiently. Then did he say that there are extraordinary beings above the galaxy level in this world? Daredevil and Luke Cage are also keeping an eye on Frank. Looking forward to his answer. Frank nodded. Have hiss. The 3 of them took a deep breath. It turns out there are such powerful extraordinary beings. Galaxy level ignores all thermal weapons. Isn't it invincible above the galaxy level? Lord of the planet? The overlord of the universe? Daredevil suddenly felt a little confused. His battle with Kingpin. Compared with a strong person, it is like a child fighting. If he has that kind of strength. Isn't gold destroyed at will? Daredevil's heart moved. Guys, I think it's time for us to break down our battle suits. Little Spider-Man looked troubled. But, my battle suit, took me a long time to make. Daredevil sounded serious. This is all to improve your strength. Frank pressed the detector next to his ear. A curtain of light appeared in front of me. Take a photo of the battle suits on the 3 of them. Spider-Man's battle suit level, blue note, just 2 days are not enough for it to be nourished by the Master's strength and will. Daredevil's battle suit level, blue, you don't need to argue. The battle suit has been used for too short a time, so it only has a blue grade. Frank's voice interrupted the 2 of them. Spider-Man looked at the light curtain in Frank's eyes curiously. Uncle Custer, what is this? Wow! It looks so high-tech. Frank explained. The detector Mr. Ron gave me. Can detect equipment level. Wow! Are there any more? I want one too, little Spider-Man yelled. If only such a good thing existed. He can also collect equipment. Daredevil is invisible though. But Frank's movements can also be perceived. Frank, can you ask Mr. Ron for 2 more detectors? Well, he can't use it. Frank looked into his eyes. This thing is really not friendly to disabled people. I can't guarantee it. I'll ask Mr. Ron next time. Daredevil nodded. Enough. There can be such magical and extraordinary items. And let others use it. Mr. Ron must be a just man too. You won't be stingy for sure. Frank's eyes swept over the 3 of them. In that case, let's discuss it now. How to take off that big green guy's pants. And how to get more transcendent equipment. SHIELD bang. 5 tons. Shocking numbers were written on the power display. Hawkeye Barton looked at Natasha Romanoff in disbelief. You are really looking more and more like the feared Black Widow. 5 tons of power. You can lift the car with your bare hands. I'm afraid it's just a slight exertion. It can crush human bones. Horrible. He shook the bow and arrow in his hand vigorously. Hawkeye is not only scary but also exciting. He will soon have this power too. What he paid for was only the equipment and battle suit that he eliminated. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 20. Come back to the office. Looking at the 3 capable men. Nick's frown finally relaxed a lot. There have been too many messy and annoying things lately. First up is the Hulk. It's the Green Lizard Man again. There is also an Iron Man. This is still relatively urgent at the moment. Besides. And mutant. There was even a man in Ohio who was on fire. A guy riding a motorcycle back and forth. All this needs to be solved manually. Those who lack strength are not qualified. Not many are enough in the face of strength. This made Nick Fury couldn't help but take out the pager several times. But when I think of that woman. Unless there is a catastrophe on the earth. Otherwise, don't call her. I resisted the urge to press the pager. Now, the decomposer appears. It really solved his urgent need. As long as he does his best to bring Natasha Romanoff and Barton together. He also has his own transcendent in his hands. Phil Coulson, Natasha Romanoff. Nick Fury looked at the two of them with one eye. What are the chances of controlling Ron? Natasha Romanoff glanced at Phil Coulson. I think Phil Coulson has more to say than I do. Nick Fury looked at him suspiciously. What happened? Phil Coulson smiled bitterly. I was still talking to Ron, and then. With Phil Coulson explaining. Nick Fury's face gradually became serious. Be shocked without others knowing it. Not even a trace of breath was leaked. This reminds Nick Fury of someone. Professor X. Ron's ability is very much like psychic ability. In other words, it's like a psychological shock. But you have to check it out in person to know for sure. But no matter what. Mental ability is always the most feared thing. Although the performance is spiritual shock. But who's to say for sure that Ron doesn't have mind control? Looks like I need to go to Xavier Academy. Well, please ask Professor X for a favor. By the way, give some support to Xavier Academy. Thinking about it, they wouldn't mind giving themselves some old clothes. Uncle Custer, are we really okay with this? Little Spider-Man is not wearing a battlesuit. Instead, he followed Frank in regular clothes. Don't worry, as long as we don't look for trouble, there will be no problem. Frank looked at Peter's young face with emotion. Another 18-year-old kid. He and Jessica are classmates. This world is so coincidental. Regarding Peter Parker, we have to start with a lawyer's commission. Aunt May's friend wants to find a lawyer to litigate. But there's not much money yet. The result was Daredevil Matt Murdock. Then it's easy. Daredevil's super perception. He could directly hear Peter's heartbeat as he passed by. He was recognized immediately. At this point, the four defenders have been completely honest with each other. Today, Peter is following Frank to implement their first plan. Go to Mutant College to collect old clothes. Thinking about it, this is the only place where there are many extraordinary people. And wants to take off the Hulk's pants. It's obviously difficult to rely on Frank alone. Hulk planet level strength. It was difficult for the other three to help Frank. Therefore, Frank decided to let Matt take Luke Cage to search for news about the Hulk. He brought Peter to collect rags. There is nothing we can do about it. 4 people and 3 poor guys. Only Frank still has some money. The two came to Mutant Academy. Grab a guy wearing special sunglasses. Hello, my name is Frank Custer. We want to talk to your principal about something. Frank Custer from the Defenders. Scott looked at Frank in surprise. This fierce aura is indeed powerful. The 4 members of the Defenders are almost unknown among New York's extraordinary people. Every time it destroys Jinbin's business. They also provoke the Hand and the Mutual Aid Society. There is nothing that these 3 powerful organizations can do against them. What are you doing at Xavier Academy today? Frank nodded. It's me. I want to talk to your principal about something. Scott was about to ask. Professor X's voice suddenly sounded in my mind. Bring them in. He looked at the two of them in surprise. Come in with me, and I will take you to see the professor. The 3 of them walked forward. I met Professor X in a wheelchair. Frank introduced himself first. Hello Professor X, my name is Frank Custer. This is my nephew Peter. Peter looked around excitedly. Wow! Living mutants! So many! I don't know what abilities they have. Will it spin silk? Should I teach them? Well, he kept these words in his heart. His face turned red. But there is no way. Before coming, Frank said he was not allowed to speak. Originally, Peter refused. But when Frank brought up Aunt May, Peter compromised. He had lost Uncle Ben. Aunt May can no longer be put in danger because of him. Professor X nodded to Frank. I know you, the powerful transcendent. I wonder what brings you to Xavier Academy. It turns out that being famous has such benefits. Frank smiled. Professor, I would like to spend money to buy the old clothes discarded by the students of your school. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 21. Scott, 0. Professor X. Buying used clothes. Facing the incredible expressions of the two people, Frank nodded. That's right. As much as you want. Even the old clothes you replace in the future can be sold to me. Professor X frowned slightly and looked at Frank. Can I ask, what did you buy it for? Sorry, there are so many super abilities. I'm afraid that some abilities may be detrimental to my students by relying on old clothes. Frank nodded in understanding. It's nothing. Old clothes of a powerful super ability user, or obsolete weapons. I have a way to break it down and improve my own strength. Peter, 0. That's what you're told? Aren't you afraid they won't sell it? There was silence for a moment. Professor X's bright eyes met Frank's. Eyes facing each other. Professor X said softly. Your heart tells me you are telling the truth. Can you guarantee that this ability will not impact my students? Frank nodded without hesitation. I can promise. Professor X nodded slightly. Okay, I promise you. Frank said quickly. Then agree in advance that if you know my purpose, don't take the opportunity to raise the price. Anyway, I am the only one who knows how to improve my strength. No one else will accept old clothes. If your price is too high, at worst I won't buy it. Professor X pondered for a moment and nodded. It is not easy to support a school. He had no reason to say no to Frank. Frank immediately gave Peter a look of joy. How about it? Peter, Uncle Custer is awesome. The open space in front of Xavier Academy. Scott, are you here to sell too? By the way, what is your ability? Frank smiled and greeted Scott. Scott smiled shyly. My eyes can shoot laser light, which is just as powerful. Frank glanced at the clothes in his hands. Level, green. Suddenly the smile on his face became even brighter. Oh, you're so humble. Laser light sounds like a powerful super ability. For the sake of your great ability, I will add 10 meters of gold to your clothes. Scott's smile also brightened a lot. Thank you so much. Frank waved his hand. Fine. Everyone, listen up, as long as the super ability is not weaker than Scott's. I'll add 10 meters of gold at any time. Every one of them. The words fell. Listen to the cheers around you. Frank's mouth never closed. Peter even hugged the old clothes and refused to let go. 1 ton of power, 2 ton of power, 3 ton of power. This is all strength. Breakdown shop. Ron welcomed his first guest today. Hey, you seem to be very unwelcome to me. Jessica bared her little tiger teeth. I'm here to dismantle the equipment. Ron didn't even raise his eyes. Who benefits from decomposing equipment? All right. The expression on Jessica's face froze. But then he saw the clothes in his hands. Then, what if I say, there is little Nene in this? Ron glanced at her disdainfully. Her wandering eyes inadvertently passed over the clothes in her hands. Cut. It's in my shop now. I'm holding you still, I don't want to do anything. Jessica had a provocative smile on her face. I don't know who it was, but it locked me up for 2 hours last time. Nothing was done in the end. The expression on Ron's face was calm, not affected by her words at all. That's your punishment? Jessica. Really? Then I seem to see someone's eyes glancing at the clothes in my hands. Seeing Ron silently ignoring her, Jessica had a Trask-like smile on her face. Why don't I break it down? You're not saying that I have great potential and don't need it for the time being. Then I'll put them in the store and break them down later. What do you think? You empty and lonely wolf, don't do anything bad to them, Ron. Your tone seems like you want me to do something bad. Ron looked at Jessica, their eyes meeting. Then move your eyes down. If you don't decompose, get out. If you don't leave, be careful and you won't be able to leave. After saying that, he stretched out his hand. The fingers are bent, as if they are grasping something in the void. Jessica's face suddenly turned red. UBD. Ron curled his lips. Little girl, fight with me. If you touch it, you will be responsible. Why don't you go to heaven? Him, Ron. Scumbag. No initiative, no refusal, no responsibility. It was Jessica's request at that time. What does it have to do with him? How can a person who is doing great things be held back by the love of his children? Well, I'm still timid after talking too much. Planet level strength is still too weak. If only he had the strength of level Godfather. Able to tough out Thanos. Beat up Mephisto. He never refuses anyone. Give the beauties in the world a home. Now? In vain, you have added a weakness to yourself. Isn't that a fool? P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Thank you to the Yanzu bosses for the flowers and support. Chapter 22. Jessica threw the clothes on Ron. I won't decompose it anymore. I'll keep it for you, a wolf. Ron stared at the clothes scattered around him for a moment. Pants, jacket really? What are you looking for? Jessica suddenly leaned forward. Lying on the counter, his big eyes stared into Ron's. Are you looking for my little nene? Jessica's eyes narrowed slightly. Still looking for it? I know you are a wolf. Humph. Why is there little nene in the battlesuit? You must give up your dirty mind. Ron. Jessica looked at the silent Ron. Like a victorious CK turn around and leave. But suddenly, her eyes blurred. When you see clearly again. It's that familiar place again. Then, snap. It's swollen. A few minutes later. Jessica ran away clutching her injured area. Ron glanced at her disdainfully. Little girl, you dare to challenge me. Shield Hawkeye organized the equipment he had eliminated. Carrying it to Nick Fury's office. Director, I'm going to go to the decomposition shop. Nick Fury called out to him. You wait first. Then picked up the phone. Tell Phil Coulson to come to my office. After a while, Phil Coulson knocked on the door and came in. Nodding to Hawkeye. Look at Nick Fury. Director. Nick Fury looked at him with one eye and ordered. Go to the logistics department. Collect all the eliminated equipment of high-level agents in the game. Phil Coulson was slightly startled. I immediately understood what Nick Fury meant. Yes. Nick Fury nodded. How long will it take? Phil Coulson pondered for a while. I silently calculated the time in my mind. Well, it will take about half a day. Good. Nick Fury said. After sorting it out, you, Natasha Romanoff and Barton, go to the dismantling shop to improve your strength. Almost the entire SHIELD outfit. Just give them 3? Phil Coulson hesitated for a moment, then asked. Just the 3 of us. Nick Fury's eyes flashed slightly and he thought for a moment. Just you 3. After sorting it out, go directly without reporting. When you come back, there are still tasks to be assigned to you. Yes. Phil Coulson and Hawkeye received it. Turned around and left the office. After the 2 of them left, Nick Fury took out a report from the drawer. Report after Phil Coulson returned from last time with Natasha Romanoff. Purple Man, a super ability person wanted by SHIELD, rely on super ability to control others. Undefendable. Without warning. The mysterious hormone was only detected in decedent's body. It seems to be the reason for being controlled. Nick Fury took a pen and put a cross on the photo of Xiron. Blast a super ability person to pieces with one punch. Frank, you're getting stronger again. Turn the page. Above is a photo of Ron. I wonder what your strength is. What about Carol? Speaking of this, Nick Fury quickly shook his head. Joke. Carol physically crashes into the spaceship. How can it be compared to Ron? That's his trump card. He needs to have faith in Carol. At the same time, the video of Frank punching the Purple Man to pieces has also spread to major organizations. This unabashed transcendent. All major organizations have records. Frank Custer. Originally a top special warrior. For some unknown reason, he gained super ability. Then the strength became stronger and stronger. Blast a person to pieces with one punch. That's not just power. And super fast speed. Xavier Academy Professor, Frank, is he a mutant? Cyclops thought of the big man who came to collect clothes yesterday. Simple and honest appearance. Compare it to the brutal side in the video. These are simply two people. No matter what, he couldn't put the Frank in the video together with the one in his memory. Who would have thought that before he collected his clothes, he had done such cruel things? Professor X looked at the video and shook his head. I checked on him last time he came here. He's not a mutant. The world is very big, and not only Awakening X genes can have super abilities. He's had a lot of contact with Nick Fury. Also helped Nick Fury a lot. So I learned a lot of secrets. Necromancer, vampire, werewolf. Such extraordinary creatures exist in this world. It's just that ordinary people can't access it. Cyclops doesn't know this. He was worried about Frank, so he asked anyway. Then he was killing someone on the street, will he be okay? That's what he's worried about. What if something happens to Frank? Isn't it because there is no extra money from selling used clothes? The price Frank gave is not low. Many were purchased at almost full price. More than 1 or 2 pieces per person. Unexpectedly, many students suggested changing into new clothes today. Professor X looked at him with a smile. Don't worry, the one he killed was a wanted criminal. Cyclops breathed a sigh of relief. That is not bad. He doesn't want Frank to be a bad guy who kills innocent people indiscriminately. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Thank you guys for your support. Chapter 23. Mutant Brotherhood. Magneto looks at Frank in the video. Eyes twinkling. He's strong. Juggernaut scratched his head. It's okay, I think I can do it too. How many can compare with you? Mystique glared at him. Then looked at the video again. Except for Juggernaut, there is probably no one in the Brotherhood who can match him in terms of physical strength. Magneto nodded. No one disagrees with the strength of Juggernaut. The whole Brotherhood. Except for him, almost no one is a match for Juggernaut. And the strength shown by Frank at the moment. Only Juggernaut can suppress it. This is already scary. He is most likely a companion of the new awakening. Would any of you go and get in touch with him? If Frank joins them, then Brotherhood's strength will definitely increase greatly. Mystique spoke. I'd better go. Magneto nodded. Good. Let's take another look at the new awakening mutant. Only Mystique has the most experience. It would be best if she did it. Night. Defenders Rendezvous Point. Frank and Peter walked in carrying large and small bags. Peter ran away laughing happily. Ha ha ha, I'm so excited. Matt, Luke. You'll never guess how much we received. Do you know? The whole academy is full of mutants. They have many strong men. Uncle Custer said that there are a lot of blue equipment here. There's even green gear. I can become as strong as Uncle Custer. Luke Cage is also smiling. Only Matt suddenly thought of something. The smile faltered. Facing Frank. Frank, how much did you spend this time? Frank also sighed. Almost everything I brought is spent. When he went, he brought tens of thousands of meters of gold with him. This is the most he can carry. He is planning to move recently. There were so many things going on outside, including the Purple Man incident. It made him feel uneasy. He plans to move next door to Ron. It's all settled. It doesn't matter if you lose. At least, moving there will give you physical peace of mind. But even just 10,000 meters of gold is still a lot. Ordinary people can't earn this in a year. But there's nothing we can do about it. Since Professor X gives him convenience, it's impossible for him not to reciprocate. In addition to blue, green, and even white, he also collected them. It's obviously agreed upon. You can't always treat them differently. But relatively speaking, the price given is much cheaper. But that's almost a third. Frank explained the situation to the 3 people. All 3 nodded in understanding. You did the right thing. Matt spoke. You can't bear all this money alone. You still have family. You and Peter will help, and Luke and I will make up for the money. Need not. Frank waved his hand. He didn't say much. Phil? Bye Matt? What a joke. This great saint, can he get money? These few missions. According to his temperament, he attacked a gangster. It's not too much to collect some stolen money, right? Where's Matt? Frank, we can't take this kind of dirty money. Good guy. Is CO authoring really a volunteer job? But Frank didn't say anything. Knows Matt's temperament. Isn't it okay for me to go on a mission alone? You are alone and you don't even know if you take it. Just this kind of person, in an environment like Hell's Kitchen. He can make shitty money. Matt opened his mouth. But I didn't know what to say. At the same time. On the other side, break down the interior. Ron looked at the backpacks brought in by Phil Coulson, Natasha Romanoff, and Hawkeye. I couldn't help but look at the cars outside that were hitting doors and pulling equipment. Hold the grass. Isn't this a one-time pull-in? Phil Coulson smiled. Mr. Ron, excuse me. Although his boss is scheming against the other party. But Ron is also somewhat of a mysterious strongman. It's not something he can afford to offend. Ron nodded. Did you evacuate S.H.I.E.L.D? Phil Coulson smiled. Yes, it's all here. Thanks to Mr. Ron's magical decomposition machine, otherwise these equipment would also have been destroyed. It's considered waste recycling. Ron nodded slightly. Is this draining S.H.I.E.L.D dry? The three of them took out their equipment one by one. Looking at the white equipment and a small amount of blue equipment all over the floor. Occasionally a few pieces of green. Ron shook his head slightly in his mind. They are all spicy chicken, and they are still far from being squeezed dry. At least there is none in the collection in S.H.I.E.L.D warehouse. But use it on 3 people. It would allow the 3 of them to take a big step on the road to being extraordinary. At least not weaker than Captain America. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 24. More than 500 pieces of white equipment. More than 300 pieces in blue. There are only 10 green ones. 5 of them are Hawkeyes. Neither Phil Coulson nor Natasha Romanoff moved. The remaining 5 pieces. Phil Coulson only took 1. I'm not a combatant. You are in urgent need of improvement. I can wait until later. Natasha Romanoff glanced at him. No words were spoken. Pick up the green equipment and walk to the medium-level grading machine. Put 10,000 meters of gold. Then put on a piece of equipment. Wait for the decomposer to stop. Decomposition successful. Broken will *1. Broken crystal *1. Elementary level fighting skills *5. Elementary level shooting skills *5. Extract or not. With the last experience. After getting the reward. Natasha Romanoff clapped her hands together. Points of light poured in. Enduring the stinging pain all over my body. The body is getting stronger quickly. As green equipment is put in one by one. Natasha Romanoff absorbs it in turn. They are all equipment eliminated by the agent organization. The rewards for each decomposition are similar. The decomposition of green equipment is over. Her strength directly reached the mid-surface level. 300 pieces of blue equipment and 100 of hers. Wait until these 100 pieces are decomposed. It can be said that Frank is much stronger than he was before he fought Purple Man. Even if it doesn't reach planet level. But there is definitely a surface level peak after all, blue equipment is no better than green. Not every piece will unlock willpower bonuses. Wait until Natasha Romanoff breaks it down. Phil Coulson gave up second place to Barton, who was breaking down for the first time. Take a page like Natasha Romanoff. Decomposition began. And the other side. Natasha Romanoff has started using the elementary level disintegrator to decompose blue gear. Ron just watched the 3 of them take it apart piece by piece. Feel the power surge in your body from time to time. His face was filled with relief. That expression, if he didn't know it, it was just him. I thought there was someone kneeling under his boss's chair. Anyway, people look at it and feel that they must have done nothing good. 100 pieces of blue equipment. Natasha Romanoff looked at the remaining pile. Even knowing that each one is strength. But she still felt troubled. She occupies the elementary level decomposition machine. Phil Coulson and 2 people after dismantling green equipment. White equipment is now being disassembled using a new disassembler. Looking at the few hundred pieces left. Natasha Romanoff complained. Mr. Ron, it's too troublesome to disassemble your decomposer one by one. Don't you think about upgrading it? Ron chuckled. You don't need to upgrade, you can also decompose the same level at once. What? Natasha Romanoff and the three of them were stunned. Looking at the equipment in his hand, he thought about how he had put it in one by one before. Obviously they can be decomposed together. Ron didn't even tell them? For a time, Phil Coulson's shadow on Ron became much smaller. Natasha Romanoff has a look of resentment in her eyes. Mr. Ron, why did you say such an important thing? Ron spread his hands. You didn't ask, right? Look, if you tell me, I'll tell you directly. He doesn't like SHIELD conspiracy and scheming all day long. Even if you are welcome to disassemble the equipment. But he definitely wouldn't mind if he had the chance to cheat. The three of them looked at each other. I wonder, how can Ron do this kind of business? Whose boss wouldn't remind me? But when I think about it, they are the ones begging for help. It's them who need the decomposer. It wasn't Ron who needed them. Suddenly the bitterness in his mouth swirled around. I had to swallow it again. 10 pieces of green equipment cost 100,000. Blue gear Natasha Romanoff has broken down over 80 pieces. More than 80,000 were used. The two disassembled more than 100 pieces of white equipment. This is more than 10,000 again. In such a short time. Just because I didn't ask. Spend nearly 200,000 more. The average salary of each of the three of them is 1 year. Knowing that Ron did it on purpose. They couldn't afford to mess with Ron either. Just break it down silently. With Ron's reminder. They were much faster. Put them in batches. When the white light of the decomposer shone, hundreds of pieces of equipment were taken away. The three people watching were surprised. The decomposer doesn't look big. Those hundreds of pieces of equipment are bigger than it. All I can say is that it is truly an extraordinary item. Decomposition completed. The three of them smashed the light balls in their hands one after another. A large number of light points poured in. With severe pain. There has been a huge improvement in strength. It even exceeded Ron's expectations. Except Phil Coulson. Natasha Romanoff and Hawkeye actually broke through to the planet level. Even if you are just entering the planet level for the first time. During this time period. Excluding big guys like Ancient One. There are only a few mutants such as Professor X and Magneto. There is also the Hulk waiting above them. Like the other three in the Defenders. Dr. Lizard and others are no longer their opponents. Ron's gains were even greater. Reached the middle stage of planet level. P.S. New book, new book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. Chapter 25. In SHIELD bang. 50 tons. Diddy diddy. Boom. Natasha Romanoff punched the tester directly. This is S.H.I.E.L.DS top of the line tester. Can withstand up to 50 tons of force. Exploded by a punch. This means that Natasha Romanoff's power has exceeded this number. And she is not the only one with this power. Barton on the side made a secret comparison. He found that Natasha Romanoff punch. He can definitely take the next step. Hear Barton speak his mind. Nick Fury nodded with satisfaction. Very good. Except Captain Marvel. He finally has his own extraordinary power in his hands. Come back to the office. Nick Fury threw a piece of information to each of them. Barton, this task is yours. A fireman riding a motorcycle has appeared in Ohio. You are responsible for gathering information about him. It's best to recruit if possible. Barton nodded. No problem, fireman. His current defense, let alone fire. Even cannonballs. He was confident of resisting a direct hit. Little did he know that it was no ordinary fire. Nick Fury scratched his head and looked at Natasha Romanoff. Hulk, try to recruit him. Bruce Banner is a scientific researcher. To contact him, you are more suitable than Barton. Natasha Romanoff looked at Betty's picture on the profile. Really suitable. He has a girlfriend. Not waiting for Nick Fury to say anything. She put the report on the table. I understand, women always make people let their guard down. I'll get the job done. Hulk. I don't know her current power. How does it compare to the Hulk? But it is said that at Culver University, the Hulk tore through an armored vehicle with his hands. She's probably less powerful than the Hulk right now. What she didn't know was. That's not even close. That's far from it. calculated according to the growth process of the Hulk. The last time the Hulk appeared, he was almost in the middle stage of planet and approaching the end stage. The next time it appears, it will be in the later stages. The Hulk was just influenced by Banner. He restrained himself and did not go on a killing spree. And he always had good intentions for the world. Even if he is attacked every time he appears. Otherwise, even one division would not be enough to kill him. And Natasha Romanoff has just entered the planet level. Mr. Ron. Peter Parker opened the door and said hello to Ron. The large and small bags he was carrying were placed next to the decomposer. Behind him were Frank and 3 others. So much? Which organization did the 4 of them go to rob? Ron was a little surprised. Your gains are quite big. Frank scratched his head. Haha, I went to Mutant Academy. What? Mutant Academy? No wonder. This is a great place. Everyone has super ability. I don't know what good things can be found in their clothes. As 4 people dug out. Ron also checked the level of the equipment. Colossus suit level, green. Cyclops sunglasses level, green. Shockwave's battlesuit level, green. Hank's pants level, green. A dozen pieces of green, with dozens of pieces of blue. Plus dozens more in white. It is indeed Mutant Academy. The equipment of an academy can match a large organization like SHIELD. Although, S.H.I.E.L.D. still has a collection. But Mutant Academy is gone? Ron obviously didn't see Professor X and Sheen inside. Both of them have to be at least purple. There's more than one piece. Thinking of this, Ron asked. That's all. As far as I know, there is more than one person in Xavier Academy who has purple equipment. Why didn't you buy it? Frank was also a little annoyed. Mr. Ron, don't mention it. Professor X's wheelchair is purple equipment. But he is so nice, I can't just let him change. And his clothes too. There is another girl, also wearing purple equipment. It's a pity. Peter and I went to buy it. We are embarrassed to buy, but others are embarrassed to sell. So that's what happened. Ron understood immediately. This is not easy. Next time you go, why don't you take Jessica with you? Frank was stunned. Yes. Gee, why didn't you think of this earlier? Thanks for the reminder, Mr. Ron. Next time I go, I'll call Jessica. That's purple equipment, it's the first time I've seen it. Only then did Matt and others find out. Frank actually missed the purple equipment. But once they understand the reason, they can understand. But Frank, who is the Jessica you and Mr. Ron are talking about? Peter Parker rushed back. Jessica is my classmate. Uncle Custer said she is very strong. No weaker than me. However, I haven't seen her yet. I just guessed it from Uncle Custer's description. Matt nodded. I have some ideas in my mind. The strength is not weak. Peter's classmate. I also met Frank. Can that be brought into the Defenders? P.S. New book. If you like it, you can support it, and you guys can enjoy it as much as you like. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.